Chapter 1241. Male 2 representatives of the big demon sects announced their withdrawal from the competition. When the crowd of fiend race disciples heard this news, the scene instantly became a mess. Demon King Zhong Lu stood on the edge of the arena with a cold face. He was so angry that he wanted to slap Sword Demon Great Venerable and Redhead Old Monster to death. The two of them would rather withdraw than help him consume Li Tao's strength at this moment. Only Demon King Zhong Lu was qualified to continue the competition. The hundreds of demon disciples in the audience didn't dare to go on the stage. Their eyes fell on Zhong Lu. The soul-seizing sect leader and White Moon female demoness were defeated. Sword Demon Great Venerable and Redhead Old Monster announced their withdrawal from the competition. So, Demon King Zhong Lu no longer had any worries in his heart. As long as he defeated Li Tao in the arena, he was confident that he could be the Demon King again. As for Qin Fun, who hasn't made a move yet, Demon King Zhong Lu didn't put him in his eyes. Because the representatives of the 4 big demon sects joined hands to injure Qin Fun. Demon King Zhong Lu believed that Qin Fun's strength was far less than Li Tao, the sect master of the Azure Dragon sect. Feng Qingyu is here. I am the Demon King this time. But before Demon King Zhong Lu went on the stage, an old and majestic voice came from the void. Everyone quickly looked around, but they couldn't see the person who spoke. On the stage, Li Tao's facial expression slightly changed. Demon Lord, who was preparing to make a move, suddenly stabilized his body. Suddenly, a majestic evil gas appeared in the sky. A blue figure appeared out of thin air, and in a blink of an eye, he appeared in front of the crowd from hundreds of meters away. Who are you? This year's Demon Race Convention was full of ups and downs. Demon King Zhong Lu's face became more and more gloomy. The person who came had already landed on the ground and stood straight on the stage like an unsheathed sword. He wore a blue robe and stood with his hands clasped behind his back. There was a bright red demonic mark between his eyebrows. His lips were dark purple, his face was as pale as paper, and his gray hair was draped over his shoulders. He was an old man. Facing Zhong Lu's question, the old man's expression was indifferent, as if he didn't want to answer Zhong Lu. After glancing around, he said arrogantly, I'm Feng Qingyu, the leader of the Azure Dragon cult. I'm going to be the Demon King this time. Anyone who dares to stop me will be killed. How domineering was Feng Qingyu? That arrogant attitude of hers was even stronger than Li Tao. Zhong Lu was fuming with anger. This Feng Qingyu was an unfamiliar face, but from the surging fiend chi around him, it was not difficult to tell that he was another venerable of the fiend race. The sudden appearance of so many unfamiliar devil race experts really made the disciples of the various devil race sects very depressed. Many disciples of the demon race glared at Feng Qingyu on the stage. None of them could stand his arrogance. Qin Fun and Huayan, on the other hand, were shocked. They never thought that the green dragon of China, Feng Qingyu, would be here. When Qin Fun and Huayan went to explore the Ghost Mountain ancient martial ruins, they encountered Feng Qingyu, who wanted to rob a group of martial artists. Feng Qingyu was looking for the Little Chrysanthemum Codex, one of the demon race's holy codex. Qin Fun had given Feng Qingyu the modified cultivation technique. Qin Fun wondered if this guy had cultivated it or not. It was also because of that incident that the Dragon Sect of China removed Feng Qingyu from the list. After that, Qin Fun defeated the purple dragon Su Xiaodian and ascended to the position of the Azure Dragon, becoming the new Azure Dragon of China. In the blink of an eye, half a year had passed. Who would have thought that they would meet Feng Qingyu here again? It's you, old fart. I was just about to look for trouble with you. You dared to rob my man's treasure. Today I will settle the old score with you. Li Tao had also gone to explore the ancient martial ruins. At that time, he had just started cultivating the Little Chrysanthemum Codex and was not Feng Qingyu's match. Feng Qingyu was one of the veteran 9 dragons of China. His strength had long stepped into the peak of stage 9 inner chi. For the past half a year, he had disappeared without a trace. Now that he suddenly appeared, no one could guess his current strength. Feng Qingyu's old and dignified face had a pair of eyebrows that were joined into a line. His eyes that were half covered by his eyelids were cold and sharp. No one could tell his age. He felt old, but he seemed to be full of energy. His old age was only due to the metabolism of his body, but his aura was as vast as the ocean, full of vitality. Looking at Li Tao, a grown man calling to his man, Feng Qingyu put on a disgusted face. "Where did you come from? You pervert? I don't even know you." Feng Qingyu had long forgotten about Li Tao. Without another word, he suddenly thrust his palm at Li Tao and said, "How can a trash like you stand in the arena? Get out of here." Rumble. The palm landed on the arena, creating a deep pit where Li Tao had just landed. Li Tao narrowly dodged the palm and stood a dozen meters away, staring at Feng Qingyu with vigilance. Although it was just a simple palm strike, it caused a sensation outside the arena. Even Chong Lu and Qin Fun were re-evaluating Feng Qingyu. His raging demonic energy surged endlessly, and the destructive power he produced was shockingly powerful. Even the White Moon Demoness who attacked earlier seemed to be inferior to him. "Brat, don't dodge if you have the guts. See if I don't smash your cheekbones with my palm." Feng Qingyu's attack missed, so he thrust out another palm strike with a cold face. He wore a long green robe, and when he moved, it was as if he had turned into a beam of green light. His speed was so fast that the demon disciples couldn't fathom him. In less than half a breath's time, a series of loud noises rang out from the arena, as if the muffled thunder in the sky had struck the arena, causing the surrounding ground to crack. The huge arena could no longer accommodate the two's battle. Two beams of light had flown to the plain 100 meters away, one green and one black, and were engaged in a fierce battle. Rumble. Another muffled boom rang out, and this time it was even more deafening than the previous one. The crowd exclaimed in shock as they finally saw Li Tao and Feng Qingyu's positions. Feng Qingyu's green robe was torn and tattered, and he stood upright like a pine tree above a valley. Li Tao, on the other hand, plummeted from the sky and smashed open a bottomless pit on the ground. Feng Qingyu didn't rush to attack again. It seemed he had also suffered some injuries. The red demonic mark between his brows had undergone some changes. Its color grew darker and darker, as if it was about to turn dark red. After a brief pause, Feng Qingyu leaped into the air, waved his hand, and condensed a sharp saber that slashed toward Li Tao in the deep pit. Voila! The moment they saw the saber form from red demonic energy, the entire fiend race boiled with excitement. Demonic energy weapon? That's demonic energy weapon. Could this man be a peerless expert of the Demon King realm? Where did he come from? This year's Fiend Convention is so exciting. Although we don't even have the qualification to go on the stage, it's so cool to watch. Condensing demonic energy into a weapon was an ability that could only be used by Demon King realm experts above the Demon General realm. But unexpectedly, Feng Qingyu was able to unleash such a profound ability with just a wave of his hand. Demon Lord's brows knitted tightly, but he soon discovered that Feng Qingyu wasn't a Demon King realm expert. His demonic energy was tumbling violently like a boundless ocean, but he was at most a fourth-layer Demon General realm expert, far away from the Demon King realm. It was just that Feng Qingyu had indeed unleashed a demonic saber, which puzzled even Demon King Demon Lord. Rumor had it that if one cultivated any of the books in the Fiend Race's holy book, one could use some of the abilities of a Demon General realm expert. But Demon Lord was very clear about the two books. The Little Chrysanthemum book would produce a purple demonic mark, just like the mark on Li Tao's forehead, while the more powerful Demon Venerable book would produce a blue demonic mark. These were the information recorded in the ancient records of the Fiend Race. Even Demon Lord had never seen a Demon Venerable who cultivated the Demon Venerable book, so he didn't know whether it was true or not. But he was sure that Feng Qingyu's black and red demonic mark was obviously not the result of cultivating either of the two books. Then, what kind of cultivation technique was he cultivating? Just when everyone was still in shock, the demonic saber that condensed in the void had already slashed down, hovering above the huge pit, and was about to cut Li Tao in half. Many people exclaimed inwardly. The strength that Li Tao brought to everyone had already shocked them, but they didn't expect that a demon venerable would appear out of nowhere and defeat a powerhouse like Li Tao with a single slash. Rumble. A loud explosion rang out, but it wasn't the sound of Feng Qingyu's demonic saber slashing down. Instead, a purple sword light flashed in the deep pit, and a tens of meters long sword flew up into the sky. When the people of the fiend race looked carefully, they found that this purple demonic sword was also illusory. It was formed by Li Tao's demonic qi. Rumble. The saber and sword collided in midair, producing a loud noise that pierced through the sky. Everyone even forgot to watch the battle. They stood there in a daze, as if they had lost their souls. Two demon venerables who could form demonic qi into weapons appeared at the same time. Are these two people Demon King realm? Even Demon King, Demon King, Demon King, Demon King couldn't form demonic qi into weapons. A few mountains in the valley in the distance collapsed, and a cloud of dust rose, as if there was a sandstorm. After Li Tao and Feng Qingyu's saber and sword collided, both of them disappeared. There was no longer any sound of fighting in the air, and the surroundings gradually quieted down. Thousands of disciples were so scared that they didn't dare to make a sound. They looked nervously at the valley in the distance. Bang! After an unknown period of time, the ground burst open, and a green figure shot out from it. Feng Qingyu's robe couldn't cover his body, and his gray hair hung loosely over his shoulders. There were a lot of bloodstains on his body, but no one knew whether it was his or Li Tao's blood. In between his brows, the dark red, demonic mark changed again, turning pitch black as if it had devoured all the light in the surroundings. Ha ha! Ha ha ha! Standing on the plain, Feng Qingyu suddenly burst into wild laughter. Some people even thought his head was broken. But after laughing for a while, Feng Qingyu roared in a direction in the distance. You little brat actually cultivated the little chrysanthemum treasure codex, and it's the authentic one. I'm going to kill you and make you die a horrible death. Like a mad beast, Feng Qingyu sprinted across the ground barefooted. His words shocked everyone. Li Tao cultivated the little chrysanthemum treasure codex. That was one of the two great scriptures of the fiend race, along with the demon venerable treasure codex. Chapter 1242. The entire fiend race was shocked. Li Tao actually cultivated the fiend race's holy technique. Feng Qingyu had already flown to a deep pit several hundred meters away. Suddenly, he leaped into the air and once again thrust out a crimson demonic saber that was condensed from demonic energy. The saber was 100 meters long, mighty and domineering, as if it was going to split the earth, and fell down towards Li Tao. Rumble! The saber cut through the air and left a deep mark on the ground. The huge pit exploded, and the surrounding ground caved in. If Li Tao was hit by this saber, he would die for sure. However, a white shadow flickered in the sky. Feng Qingyu's expression was ferocious as he roared into the sky. Who is it? Who dares to meddle in my business? I want you to die a horrible death. The group of fiend disciples several hundred meters away still had no idea what was going on. They didn't even know if Li Tao was dead or alive. The white silhouette in the air stopped, stepping on two balls of fire. In one hand was a golden blade that was as bright as the wings of a phoenix, and in the other hand was Li Tao, who was on the verge of death. He was suspended in the air. It's the sect master of Demon Moon Cult, young Master Feng. The group of fiend cultivators exclaimed. They had recognized Qin Feng, who was hovering in the sky like a demon king. Before Li Tao appeared, Qin Feng was the most eye-catching existence here. His face was unfamiliar, like a god of slaughter that suddenly emerged from the ground. He fought with the representatives of the four major fiend sects, and didn't even put Demon King Chong Lu in his eyes. Now, Qin Feng made his move again. The attention they paid to Qin Feng and Li Tao was even more than Chong Lu. Who are you, kid? Feng Qingyu stood on the valley, his eyes spewing fire, and a violent demonic energy around him seemed to cover the sky. Qin Fan stuffed a pill into Li Tao's mouth, then looked at Feng Qingyu and said, "It's all thanks to me that you have the strength you have now. Why? Don't you recognize me?" Qin Fan appeared in the ancient martial ruins as Green Wolf. Feng Qingyu didn't know him, but he was shocked by Qin Fan's words. In the past 6 months, Feng Qingyu's strength had improved by leaps and bounds, but he had also paid a terrible price. Ever since she cultivated the little chrysanthemum treasure book in reverse, Feng Qingyu's body would often twitch, and the blood in her body would often flow in reverse. She would even cough and vomit blood every once in a while, as if thousands of worms were crawling over her body. Just thinking about that kind of torture was enough to make one shudder. But only Feng Qingyu knew this kind of torture. His old eyes flickered with doubt. He really couldn't figure out how this young man knew about it. "Who are you? If you don't speak, I'll kill you with a palm strike. Of course I'm the one who gave you the little chrysanthemum grimoire." "How's that grimoire?" "Looking at how you broke through from a 9th-layer devil cultivator to a 4th-layer devil general in half a year, this is simply like riding on a rocket." Qin Feng looked at Feng Qingyu with a smile, and his words completely dumbfounded Feng Qingyu. Ever since he started cultivating the little chrysanthemum Bible, he realized that there was something wrong with it. But at that time, Feng Qingyu was already in the middle of cultivating it, and it was impossible for her to stop halfway. Thus, he braced himself and continued cultivating the little chrysanthemum Bible in reverse. He was almost on par with Ouyang Feng, who cultivated the 9E manual in reverse. "Roar, it's you? You're the strange man with the head of a wolf in the ancient martial ruins?" Feng Qingyu was enraged, and he instantly turned into a mad beast. He threw his head back and roared a few times, causing the entire valley to shake violently. A green light flashed, and Feng Qingyu had already disappeared from the valley. In just a few breaths' time, he was hovering above Qin Feng's head. His skinny palm slashed down, and the surging devil qi condensed into a devil saber. Qin Feng didn't dare to be careless. He quickly raised his golden phoenix and slashed out. 100 meters long golden saber qi dazzled everyone's eyes, and it instantly collided with the red devil saber. Clouds and mist billowed in the sky, as if the sky had been blasted open by their attacks. Swoosh! After the saber slashed down, Qin Feng stepped on the golden wheel of whirlwind and landed beside the crowd. He threw Li Tao to Suruoro and Suruoro before stepping on the golden wheel of whirlwind again. It only took a few breaths' time for the golden light to flicker in the sky, dazzling everyone's eyes. "Feng Qingyu, you've cultivated the devil art in reverse, and it's only a matter of time before you explode. I advise you to cripple your cultivation and live a peaceful life as an ordinary person." Qin Feng's voice echoed in the valley. Feng Qingyu was, after all, the former Green Dragon of China. Although he had betrayed China, he had made great contributions to China during his tenure. Qin Feng didn't want to fight him to the death. How could Feng Qingyu be willing to do that? Although he had suffered a lot from cultivating the little chrysanthemum codex in reverse, the sudden increase in his strength had made him forget all the pain. Rather than crippling his cultivation, he might as well kill him. "Ant-like trash, how dare you speak arrogantly in front of me? Watch my saber." Feng Qingyu roared and slashed out with his palm again. 100 meters long devil saber instantly condensed. That technique of turning devil qi into a weapon made all the demon disciples envious. Even Demon King Chong Lu's eyes flickered. The long saber slashed down but missed. A golden light flickered, and the speed of the whirlwind fire wheel was so fast that it brought Qin Feng to Feng Qingyu's back in an instant. Qin Feng raised his hand, and the saber slashed down. A gust of wind tore through the void, and the saber qi hit Feng Qingyu's back. Rumble! Qin Feng didn't hold back at all in this slash. He unleashed the aura of a stage 4 true qi expert. Even Feng Qingyu couldn't withstand it and fell to the ground. Golden light flickered, and Qin Feng moved like a shadow. He casually pushed out his palms, and several balls of destructive fire fell into the giant pit. Explosions rang out continuously, and the giant pit became bigger and bigger. In the end, it looked like a meteorite falling to the ground. Feng Qingyu didn't have time to run away, and no one knew whether he was dead or alive in the explosion. This scene shocked everyone. That guy is dead. That's a revered one who defeated Li Tao, but he couldn't even withstand 3 moves from young Master Feng. Isn't this young Master Feng a little too fierce? Now, only Demon King Chong Lu is left. I'm worried that even Demon King Chong Lu won't be able to defeat this guy. Everyone discussed in a low voice, afraid that their voices would fall into Qin Feng's ears and attract a fatal disaster. Chong Lu stood quietly at the edge of the arena. His eyes flickered with uncertainty, and his expression turned incomparably grave. Today's Demon Race Conference was really exciting. 3 batches of dark horses appeared in a row, and each of them was comparable to a stage for Demon General Revered One. Moreover, Li Tao and Feng Qingyu both cultivated the Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Codex. That was one of the Demon Race's sacred codex, the Little Chrysanthemum Treasure Codex. All the Demon Race disciples yearned for it, and no one knew where Li Tao and the others got their hands on it. These 2 sacred codices of the Demon Race have been lost for hundreds of years. Bastard, since you're courting death, I'll fulfill your wish. Just when everyone thought that Feng Qingyu was dead, a furious roar came from the ground. A black figure jumped out from the giant pit like a demon that crawled out from hell. Feng Qingyu's clothes were all torn, and his skin was charred black. The flesh on his face was wrinkled, and it was impossible to see his original appearance. If it wasn't for Feng Qingyu's voice, no one would believe that the man who was burned into a mummy was the revered one who defeated Li Tao not long ago for the fastest and error-free reading. Please bookmark this site for the latest news. Chapter 1243. At this moment, Feng Qingyu was like a devil that had crawled out from the ground. Whether it was his aura or his scorched appearance, he looked like a devil. The discussions in the surroundings came to an abrupt halt. Hundreds of pairs of eyes were fixed on Feng Qingyu. Not only did he not die from the violent explosions and flames, but the demonic energy around him had also become stronger. Feng Qingyu's aura seemed to have changed as well. The red demonic energy had turned black, like the corpse energy of an evil cultivator. The demonic mark between his brows had turned from red to dark red, and finally to black. Now, it was as black as ink and looked like it was about to fall off his forehead. You've cultivated the Little Chrysanthemum Codex in reverse, and now you've fallen into Qi deviation. You're between a devil cultivator and an evil cultivator. If you continue cultivating, sooner or later, you'll turn into an evil cultivator and become everyone's enemy. Qin Fen looked at Feng Qingyu with a solemn expression. This man now had the aura of an evil cultivator from the Green Sect. Feng Qingyu's eyes dimmed and lost the sharp light from before. Bullshit, devil cultivator, evil cultivator, and martial cultivator. This is the era where the strong rule. As long as your fist is hard enough, you're a righteous cultivator. You've changed the Little Chrysanthemum Codex by mistake and caused me to end up like this. Today, I want you dead. Feng Qingyu's voice was filled with anger. The last glimmer of light in his eyes disappeared, and he stood there expressionlessly like a soulless puppet. The atmosphere suddenly became quiet, but everyone's heart was in their throats. This was the calm before the storm. Rumble. Sure enough, in just a few breaths of time, Feng Qingyu's body began to explode. Black demonic energy surged out like a raging sea. Everyone could see that Feng Qingyu had entered a state of madness. How could an expert who cultivated the Little Chrysanthemum Codex in reverse enter a state of madness by force? No one could imagine how powerful he had become. Swish! Feng Qingyu's body was still exploding, but he raised his hand and raised his palm. A long black saber came slashing down from dozens of meters away, hovering above Qin Fen's head in the blink of an eye. Previously, Feng Qingyu still needed some time to prepare her demonic Qi weapon, but now, it was a piece of cake. Qin Fen had already sensed the berserk aura hidden within the demonic saber. He quickly stepped on the golden whirlwind wheel and disappeared. The black demonic saber was more than 100 meters long and more than a dozen meters wide. It looked like a dark cloud that had descended from the sky. But in this dark cloud, a golden light flickered and swam on the demonic saber, as agile as a fish in the water. Rumble. The saber missed and split open a crack in the ground. Feng Qingyu had lost her mind, so she didn't care about anything else. She raised her hands and struck out with 2 more palms. This time, she slashed out 2 black demonic blades. Thunder boomed in the sky, and the scene of dark clouds gathering and surging winds and clouds resembled the scene of doomsday. The demon disciples felt as if a huge rock was hanging over their hearts, and they were unable to breathe. Su Ruo and Hua Yin hugged each other, and they were extremely worried. Master, Golden Fur Lion King request to battle. Perhaps it was because Feng Qingyu was too powerful. Golden Fur Lion King's urgent voice rang in Qin Fun's mind. However, Qin Fun didn't let him out. Now that he had broken through to stage 2 True Qi stage and possessed the Golden Phoenix and Golden Whirlwind Wheel, his strength was comparable to Golden Fur Lion King's. Furthermore, as the Azure Dragon of China, Qin Fun had never fought with Feng Qingyu before, so he would treat this as a one-on-one battle between him and Feng Qingyu. Master, Feng Qingyu has entered a state of madness. He has cultivated the Little Chrysanthemum Codex in reverse, and his state of madness is different from ordinary demonic cultivators. His strength has increased by several folds. Master, be careful. Ouyang Feng also started to warn Qin Fun. As someone who had cultivated the Nining Sutra in reverse, he knew how violent these demonic cultivators were. Naturally, Qin Fun wouldn't underestimate Feng Qingyu. Stepping on the golden whirlwind wheel, he dodged, and whenever he found an opening, he would send out a few balls of destructive fire to attack. Soon, Qin Fun discovered that Feng Qingyu's body was extremely powerful after entering the Berserk Fiend realm. When the wind blades and saber qi landed on his body, they produced the sound of metal clashing, as if they were hitting steel. Not even the destructive fire could melt him, but it only made his charred skin wrinkle even more horrifying. From the very beginning, the battle was as fierce as fire, and the explosions never stopped. The demonic energy in Feng Qingyu's body seemed inexhaustible. With a casual wave of his hand, he would send out a demonic saber. At this moment, he had already sent out 10 demonic sabers at the same time, as if covering the entire heaven and earth. The black saber chi that filled the sky surged like a tidal wave. Many demonic disciples were forced to squat on the ground, and some of the weaker ones even vomited blood. Su Ruo and Hua Yin looked anxious. Li Tao clutched his chest, wishing he could rush over and help Feng Qingyu, but he was too heavily injured and was stopped by the 2 girls. Zhong Lu's eyes were like torches as he fixed his gaze on the 2 people fighting in midair. He was shocked by their strength, and he even wondered if he could defeat one of them. The row of saber chi had already descended with an earth-shattering momentum, shrouding a radius of several hundred meters around Qin Fun. Even with the golden whirlwind wheel, Qin Fun didn't have the time to dodge. The golden phoenix hastily raised its saber and slashed several times in the air. The golden saber chi and the black demonic saber collided in midair, and it was as if half of the sky had been torn apart. It was a magnificent scene that could hardly be seen in 100 years. When Qin Fun's golden phoenix slashed for the 3rd time, he was struck in the chest by a black demonic saber. The violent demonic energy was like a meteor that fell from the sky, and Qin Fun's internal organs were almost spat out. He turned into a black shadow and plummeted to the ground. Rumble. The sound of his landing was like the explosion of a cannonball, stirring up a cloud of dust. When the dust dissipated, a huge sinkhole was formed. There was no living creature in the sinkhole, except for Qin Fun's tiny body lying motionlessly in the center. Feng Qingyu, how dare you hit my man? I'll kill you. Seeing this, tears streamed down Hua Yan's face as she waved her blood-colored whip. Su Ruo rose mind bust. She felt as if her soul had been taken away. She didn't go after Feng Qingyu. Instead, she leaped to Qin Feng's side. Crackle! Hua Yan's blood shadow whip had already landed, leaving a blood-red trail of whipped qi that could swallow a river. The group of demonic cultivators was shocked. Although Hua Yan's strength was much weaker than Qin Feng and the others, they didn't expect her to be a ninth-layer demonic cultivator. The surging demonic energy around her made it seem as if she could step into the realm of Demon General at any time. Facing such a ferocious whip, Feng Qingyu stood still on the spot. When the blood-red whip was hovering above his head, he casually waved his hand as if he was swatting away a mosquito. However, a wave of demonic energy swept across the void and instantly dispersed the whip. Humph. I don't even want to deal with an ant like you. But since you're courting death, don't blame me. After blocking Hua Yan's fierce attack, Feng Qingyu thrust his palm forward. The demonic energy condensed into a sharp sword and shot toward Hua Yan like a meteor. Hua Yan didn't even have time to react. She felt the aura of death surrounding her, but a black shadow appeared and pushed Hua Yan away. His abdomen was pierced by the demonic energy sword. Bang! A loud sound exploded on Li Tao's body. A large hole was blasted on his abdomen. His flesh was badly mangled, and some white bones and organs could be seen. Many people were shocked and exclaimed. Hua Yan was dumbfounded after she fell to the ground. She felt an indescribable pain in her heart when she saw Li Tao lying on the ground with his last breath. This man, who was neither a man nor a woman, who killed decisively in front of his enemies but always begged Hua Yan to treat him as a good sister, came to her rescue without any regard for his own life. Hua Yan had always felt disgusted by Li Tao, but at this moment, she treated this strange man as a good sister. Li Tao, are you all right? Hua Yan quickly came to Li Tao's side after she regained her senses. Li Tao forced a smile on his face, but a few mouthfuls of blood gushed out of his mouth. Sister Hua Yan, I am fine. This guy is too powerful. You and Sister Ruoro quickly take young Master Qin away. Even though Li Tao was about to die, he still did not forget about the safety of Qin Feng and the others. Hua Yan's beautiful eyes suddenly turned bloodshot. Li Tao quickly used his last breath to push her. Sister Hua Yan, don't go crazy. You can't defeat him. Hurry up and leave. I'm not leaving. I'm going to avenge you and Qin Feng. Hua Yan was also stubborn. Only Qin Feng could change her mind. However, Qin Feng was still lying in the crater, and it was unknown whether he was dead or alive. Hua Yan gripped the blood shadow whip tightly and rushed forward. Shameless ant, I can kill you with one finger. Looking at the fearless Hua Yan charging at him, Feng Qingyu's face was filled with disdain. It was not until Hua Yan's whip was about to land on his head that he slowly struck out with his palm. The palm seemed slow, but a demonic saber was formed in an instant. The black saber was not as long and domineering as before, but it was an exquisite saber that was more than 3 meters long. The shadow of Hua Yan's whip had long disappeared, and a dangerous demonic aura enveloped her. It was an unprecedented aura of death. Hua Yan even stopped her counterattack. She felt a sense of despair, as if she could only wait to be killed. Rumble. A loud explosion was heard from the demonic saber. Hua Yan opened her eyes abruptly. The aura of death was quickly dissipating, and a figure was hovering in front of her. His white robe was fluttering, and he was standing on 2 balls of fire. His long hair was disheveled, and he looked like an immovable mountain. Qin Feng, woo-woo, are you all right? Looking at the back of the man, Hua Yan couldn't help but burst into tears. The reason why she fought with her life on the line was that she thought Qin Feng had been killed by Feng Qingyu. Since Qin Feng was no longer here, Hua Yan had to leave with him. Yin Yan, stand down. I'll avenge Li Tao. Qin Feng's voice was deep, but it had a strong, penetrating power. It drifted thousands of miles away and fell into everyone's ears. Everyone looked at Qin Feng in disbelief. He had only raised his hand casually, but he had blocked Feng Qingyu's domineering saber. Qin Feng's aura had changed drastically. Previously, it was billowing true qi, but now it was surrounded by blue demonic aura. If someone saw his face, they would definitely be blinded. Chapter 1244. Feng Qingyu was stunned as he stared at Qin Fun's glabella with a pair of gloomy old eyes. After defeating Qin Fun, Feng Qingyu withdrew from his frenzied state and regained his consciousness. This was the first time he saw a demonic cultivator who could condense a blue demonic seal. Chong Lu happened to be standing far away from Qin Fun. When he saw Qin Fun's current appearance, he was struck by lightning. If Chong Lu was amazed when he found the little chrysanthemum book, then he was shocked when he learned that Qin Fun might have cultivated the demonic lord book. That was the demonic lord book, 100 times better than the little chrysanthemum book with its side effects. It was also known as the #1 book of the demon race. Since the development of the demon race, it had been 100 years since they saw an expert cultivating the demonic lord book. Even Chong Lu suspected that the book had been completely lost. But in this year's demon race convention, this cultivation method appeared. Regardless of whether one cultivated the little chrysanthemum book or the demonic lord book, he would become a demon king. Qin Fun had forcibly activated the demon lord Bible in the sinkhole, entering a state of madness. He was now hovering in the void like a demon king descending to the mortal world. His demonic aura was surging like a boundless ocean, and even Feng Qingyu felt pressured standing in front of him. Who are you? What cultivation method are you cultivating? Feng Qingyu had been invincible since he appeared. Even Li Tao was defeated by him. But now, he was looking at Qin Fun with a panicked expression as if he was facing a formidable enemy. Qin Fun stood quietly in the void, his eyes filled with indifference like the vast earth. You don't need to know that because you're going to die. Even Qin Fun's voice had changed. It was filled with an ancient aura, giving people the feeling that he had returned to the most primitive times, when he was running naked in the forest and hunting beasts. Feng Qingyu's expression changed again and again. When he wanted to say something, Qin Fun raised his palm as if he was reaching out to pluck a flower. Rumble. A blue demonic chi hand seal was formed and fell from the sky, covering half of the sky above Feng Qingyu's head. Before the palm strike landed, Feng Qingyu already felt an unprecedented pressure. The ground beneath his feet began to crack and crumble, sending rubble flying in all directions at the speed of a bullet. Many devil disciples were struck by the palm strike, leaving bloody holes on their bodies. Some were struck right in the middle of their brows and died on the spot. Rumble. The speed of the blue palm was not fast, but Feng Qingyu was rooted to the spot as if he was cast with an immobilizing spell. He watched helplessly as the palm approached the top of his head bit by bit, causing him to break out in cold sweat. As the handprint approached, Feng Qingyu's gray hair fluttered in the wind. Subtle explosions rang out from his body, but the commotion was getting louder and louder. Tiny cracks began to appear on his skin, spreading at a speed visible to the naked eye, and finally covered his entire body like the patterns on a tortoise shell. Bang! Finally, the hand seal landed completely, pressing down on Feng Qingyu's head like a thunderclap. Explosions rang out in all directions. Under the destructive force of the violent demonic qi, Feng Qingyu was like a small sail in the middle of the ocean. His body exploded instantly, turning into flesh and blood that splattered all over the land within 100 meters. Rumble. But the loud noises didn't stop. The handprint was still sinking, causing the ground to cave in deeply. If someone was suspended in midair like Qin Feng, they would see a huge crater left behind by the handprint within a radius of 100 meters. It was as powerful and invincible as Buddha's palm. The atmosphere had long since fallen silent. Not even the sound of breathing could be heard. With just one palm strike, Qin Fun had turned Feng Qingyu, who was cultivating the little chrysanthemum codex in reverse, into minced meat. Although the palm strike landed on Feng Qingyu's body, it also struck a chord in everyone's heart. Qin Fun's strength had stunned everyone present. None of the devil disciples dared to raise their heads. Wherever Qin Fun's gaze swept across, the crowd would immediately bow and lower their heads as if they were worshipping a devil king that had descended to the mortal world. After looking around for a while, Qin Fun's gaze finally fell on Chong Lu. Even the previous Demon King was filled with fear at this moment. Before this, he had looked down on Qin Fun, but now he knew how powerful Qin Fun was. "Aren't you going to make a move?" After killing Feng Qingyu with one palm strike, Qin Fun looked at Chong Lu indifferently, as if nothing had happened. Ever since Qin Fun activated the Demon Lord Codex and entered the state of madness, he felt that his body was filled with endless qi. Moreover, the Demon Lord Codex was so powerful that it allowed Qin Fun to maintain his consciousness even though he was in the state of madness. Chong Lu exclaimed in his heart. The Demon Lord Codex was worthy of being the #1 Demon Lord Codex. He was so envious of Qin Fun that he even had the thought of forcing Qin Fun to reveal his cultivation method. But when he looked at Qin Fun, who was as powerful as a devil king, he immediately dispelled this terrible idea. "I withdraw from the competition." After a long silence, Chong Lu let out a sigh. Immediately, all the devil disciples were shocked. The Demon King Chong Lu, they were looking forward to the most, had withdrawn from the competition. Did he not even have the courage to fight Qin Fun? When Chong Lu made this decision, he felt helpless. Others didn't know how powerful Qin Fun was. They didn't know that he had cultivated the Demon Lord Codex, but Chong Lu knew that Qin Fun had entered the state of madness, but no one could see it. In front of a venerable who cultivated the Demon Lord Codex, Chong Lu was very self-aware. Even if he made a move, he would suffer a crushing defeat, and he might even be killed. So, why would he ask for trouble? Chong Lu's withdrawal from the competition symbolized the end of the Demon King selection. Qin Fun was like a dark horse that no one knew about and had jumped to the top of the demon race. Sword Demon, Great Venerable, and Redhead Old Freak shook their heads and sighed. They didn't expect that Demon King Chong Lu would withdraw from the competition, but they had to accept this fact. As if he didn't hear Chong Lu's words, Qin Fun leaped onto the arena. In fact, Chong Lu's decision was already within Qin Fun's expectation. Standing on the potholed arena, Qin Fun stood straight like a pine tree. He looked indifferent as he swept his eyes over the crowd. "Since no one dares to challenge me, the title of the Demon King will fall on me. If anyone has any objections, please stand up." Qin Fun's voice wasn't loud, as if he was talking to himself, but his voice was very penetrating. It clearly fell into everyone's mind. Su Ruoro and Hua Yin were still in a daze. This sudden counterattack made them excited. Li Tao was lying on the ground with a smile on his face. After he cultivated the little chrysanthemum secret skill, his body became very strange. The bloody hole on his stomach was slowly healing. For a long time, no one dared to express any objections. Chong Lu leaped onto the arena. When he spoke to Qin Fun, he bowed slightly and said, "Congratulations, young Master Feng, for becoming the Demon King. I hand over the demon crown to young Master Feng. In the future, the demon race will have to rely on young Master Feng." The leaders of both the righteous and demon sects had inherited treasures. The Wuling Alliance Master's inheritance was a gold-ranked belt, which was currently on Qin Fun's body. As for the demon race's inheritance, it was a golden-colored crown. The moment Qin Fun received the crown, he could feel a dense spiritual energy gushing towards him. This crown was also a gold-ranked Great Sage spiritual equipment. When Qin Fun put the golden crown on his head, he looked more like a demon king. When the demon race's disciples saw this scene, they knelt on the ground and shouted at Qin Fun, "Long live young Master Feng." Nearly 1,000 demon race's disciples shouted in unison. Their thunderous voices echoed in the valley. Even Chong Lu knelt on one knee in front of the demon race's disciples. Only Hua Yin and Su Ruoro remained standing. Li Tao was lying on the ground, recovering from his injuries. Facing the worship of the entire demon race, Qin Fun's expression didn't change. It was as if it was a matter of course. Instead, the blue mark between his eyebrows gradually dimmed. It turned out that he had begun to withdraw from his frenzied state. "Now that I'm the Demon King, I declare that there is no need for the Holy Maiden selection. This time, there are 2 Holy Maidens. They are my demon moon cult's disciples, Hua Yin and Su Ruo Ro. Qin Fun's words had determined the two holy maidens, but no one dared to complain. In fact, most of the candidates for the holy maiden selection were determined by the demon king or the leaders of the 5 major sections. This was because these holy maidens would eventually become the demon king's woman. Naturally, they had to gain the demon king's approval in advance. Otherwise, what if an ugly and old woman became the holy maiden? Hua Yin and Su Ruo Ro finally came to their senses. Both of them had thought of competing for the holy maiden position, but it was just a thought. They never thought they would succeed. However, when the crowd of demon race disciples suddenly changed their direction and knelt before them, the two women felt as if they were dreaming. The holy maiden of the demon race shall live for 1,000 years. Long live the demon king. Long live the holy maiden. These were some of the slogans passed down in the demon race, and they have been preserved until today. Su Ruo Ro and Hua Yin had never been worshipped by so many people before. Their hearts beat wildly. Is the Stellar Lunas sect here? At this time, Qin Fan shouted. He was ready to get down to business. The White Moon Demoness was the great elder of the Stellar Lunas sect. However, she was knocked unconscious by Li Tao and was still hanging upside down on a tree. The atmosphere was silent for a moment. Then a white-haired elder walked out, trembling. Young Demon King Foam, I'm the great guardian of the Stellar Lunas sect, White Brow. May I know what instructions does the Demon King have for me? The Stellar Lunas sect was one of the 5 major sects of the demon sect. Before this, they were mighty and domineering. They didn't put the demon race in their eyes at all. They even had the ability to speak directly to the Demon King, Zhong Lu. But now, the great guardian of the Stellar Lunas sect was kneeling before Qin Fan like a little brother. His voice was trembling, which shocked everyone. Did you capture a female disciple recently? Her name is Lu Yu. Qin Fan had completely withdrawn from his berserk demon state, and the demonic qi around him had disappeared. However, he had established his dominance long ago, and no one dared to challenge Qin Fan. Chapter 1245. When Su Ruo Ro heard that her mother was arrested and put in detention, she ran over in a hurry. Hurry up and release my mother, or I won't forgive you. Su Ruo Ro was born kind, and it was rare for her to get angry. Stellar Lunas sect's great protector, White Brow, trembled, and all the demon disciples were shocked. Lu Yu's disciple is the Saintess Mother? Our sect didn't know about this beforehand, or else we wouldn't have arrested Lu Yu's disciple. Great protector, White Brow, trembled in fear. He wasn't afraid of Su Ruo Ro's strength, but he was afraid that young Demon King Foam would kill him if he was unhappy. The fiend disciples' expressions changed unfathomably. Many of them finally understood that young Fiend King Feng's participation in the Fiend King election was probably to rescue that woman named Lu Yu, right? In order to save an unremarkable disciple of Stellar Lunas sect, he didn't hesitate to fight against the representatives of the 5 major demon sections. This move was really domineering. Hurry up and take us to your sect. I want to see my mother immediately. Su Ruo Ro was impatient. She hadn't seen her mother since the Amethyst Dragon Palace. Now that Qin Fan and Su Ruo Ro had a high status in the demon race, Great Protector White Brow didn't dare to have any objections. He immediately brought the 3 of them to Stellar Lunas sect. After Qin Fan and the 2 of them left, the stunned demon crowd woke up one after another. Everyone let out a long sigh of relief. The shock that Qin Fan gave them was too strong. Demon King Zhong Lu, you won't really let that kid be the new demon king of the demon race, right? The crowd started to disperse. Great Venerable Sword Demon and red-headed old freak quietly walked to Zhong Lu's side. Great Master Soul Locke also walked over. Red-headed old freak's words made everyone look over. Great Venerable Sword Demon and Great Master Soul Locke had a look of anticipation in their eyes. Zhong Lu's face was gloomy, and he said coldly, "What do you mean? I'm no longer the Demon King. Don't call me that." Red-headed old freak continued, "Demon King Zhong Lu, you are still the Demon King in our hearts." Who the hell is that bullshit young demon king? We don't even know where he came from. How can such a huge demon race be handed over to his hands? The disciples of the various sects of the demon race were completely convinced by Qin Fun's strength. They no longer had any other thoughts in their hearts. However, the 5 major sects of the demon race were unconvinced. After all, before Qin Fun appeared, the 5 major sects have been the rulers of the demon race. How could the high-ranking demon generals of the 5 great sects, who were used to being the big brother, be willing to submit to Qin Fun and be ordered around by someone else? Demon King Zhongluo, please avenge my senior brother, the soul-snatching sect leader. As soon as the red-headed old monster's voice fell, the soul-locked great master echoed. Even the taciturn sword demon great venerable also opened his mouth. Under the control of our 5 major sects, the demon race has developed and flourished endlessly. I also don't agree to let the demon race fall into the hands of a strange kid. This is a matter of life and death for the demon race. Other than the Star Moon sect, the representatives of the other 4 major sects of the 5 major sects of the demon race were gathered here. As the previous demon king, Zhonglu hated Qin Fun the most. This person stole his throne and slapped his face in front of all the disciples of the demon race. Zhonglu wanted to cut Qin Fun into pieces. However, Zhonglu was also the clearest about Qin Fun's strength. He was a powerhouse who cultivated the demon venerable Bible. Because of this, Zhonglu had no choice but to swallow his anger. He believed that as long as he resisted, it would be equivalent to courting death. You don't know how powerful he is. Don't talk nonsense here. If it reaches that person's ears, everyone will be finished. Zhonglu coldly reprimanded. The red-headed old monster and the other 2 were stunned. They thought that if the 5 sects joined forces, they would definitely get the recognition of Demon King Zhongluo. Who would have thought that Zhongluo wouldn't make a move? How powerful was Qin Fun? Demon King Zhongluo, what are you afraid of? With our 4 sects gathered here, coupled with the strength of the Stellar Luna sect, are we still unable to defeat him alone? The red-headed old freak was a little anxious. The soul-seizing sect leader was seriously injured in the battle just now. Great Master Soul Locke hated Qin Fun to the core. What's more, Li Tao is now a cripple. If we don't attack now, when Li Tao recovers from his injuries, the demon clan will really belong to them. Demon King Chong Lu, do it. Sword Demon Great Venerable also realized the urgency of the situation. Demon Lord looked at the 3 people's eager and impatient eyes. Then he sighed and said, "Oh, you guys still haven't seen how powerful that person is. His subordinate Li Tao has cultivated the little chrysanthemum grimoire, and that person has cultivated the Demon Lord grimoire. If I'm not mistaken, Feng Qingyu, who was killed, also cultivated the little chrysanthemum codex in reverse, and it was young Master Feng who taught her this cultivation technique." Demon Lord said all the information he captured, which shocked the 3 old men. What? That guy has cultivated the Demon Lord grimoire? That is the #1 cultivation technique of our demon clan. Didn't it disappear for hundreds of years? Sword Demon Great Venerable couldn't help but exclaim. Great Master Soul Locke's eyebrows wrinkled more and more. I can see that Li Tao has cultivated the little chrysanthemum codex, but I can't understand young Master Feng's cultivation technique. No wonder he has a blue demonic aura and a blue demonic seal. Demon Lord Grimoire? The Demon Lord Grimoire has come to this world? Then there is no need to discuss this matter. Let's immediately gather the experts of each sect and go to Star Moon sect to capture young Master Feng and force him to hand over the Demon Lord Grimoire cultivation technique. Redhead Old Monster was so excited that his bones were trembling. When he said that, everyone suddenly woke up and a trace of possessiveness flashed in their eyes. That was the #1 cultivation technique of the Demon Clan. Rumor has it that once you cultivate it, you will enter the realm of Demon King. Who doesn't want to obtain the Demon Lord Grimoire? This time, Demon Lord's eyes flashed with uncertainty, and his face showed a trace of hesitation. When the old man saw this, he quickly said, "Demon King, Demon Lord, this matter is too big. Do you want to ask the old demon elders to come out of their secluded mountain? When Redhead Old Monster's words came out, everyone suddenly became quiet. Sword Demon Great Venerable and Great Master Soul Lock looked at him in surprise. Even Demon Lord's face changed dramatically. The atmosphere became strange, so Redhead Old Monster quickly closed his mouth and pretended that he didn't say anything. After a moment of silence, Demon Lord opened his mouth to break the silence. This matter is indeed big, but that kid's strength is not high. At most, he is at the peak of the 4th layer of Demon General. I believe that if our 5 sects join hands, we will be able to capture him. Not to mention, that kid has 2 women and a cripple with him. He won't be able to cause any trouble. As for the old demons who are in seclusion, don't disturb them. They are the seniors of the Demon King realm. When they were in seclusion, they said that unless the Demon Clan is in danger, they should not be disturbed. Demon Lord's words were agreed by everyone. Redhead Old Monster was just casually mentioning it. If those old demons were to come out of seclusion, then the whole Huasia's martial arts world would be in chaos. Only the 4 of us know about the Demon Lord Grimoire. We can't spread it out. After we capture young Master Feng and force him to tell us the cultivation technique, we will cultivate it together. Demon Lord added. Redhead Old Monster and the other 2 nodded again and again. They don't want to spread this godly cultivation technique. Chong Lu, who was originally afraid of Qin Feng, was persuaded by Redhead Old Monster and the others again and again, finally became greedy. After the 4 of them discussed the plan, they went back and gathered the elite disciples of the sect, preparing to kill their way to the Star Luna sect and capture Qin Feng alive. Qin Feng didn't know about these things. The 4 of them followed Guardian by Mei and arrived at Star Moon sect. Star Moon sect was one of the 5 major sects of the Demon Clan. Their base was built in a grand and magnificent manner. It was like a palace in an ancient castle. There were many disciples in Star Moon sect, and there were many experts. However, these disciples had never seen Qin Feng and the other 3 before. When they saw Guardian by Mei personally bringing the 4 of them back and being so respectful to one of them, their eyes lit up. Guardian by Mei, is the Demon Clan convention over? Who are they? When they walked to the entrance of the tallest building in the base, a guard standing in front of the door asked. This palace was the private forbidden area of Star Moon sect leader. Even Guardian by Mei couldn't casually bring people in. Bastard, this is the new Demon King, young Master Feng. Hurry up and greet him. Guardian by Mei angrily glared at the guard. The guard was shocked and looked at Qin Feng, who was younger than him, in disbelief. This kid is the new Demon King? How is this possible? Greetings, young Demon King Feng. However, in the next second, the dozen or so guards at the door immediately knelt on one knee. They saw the golden crown on Qin Feng's head. Wasn't that the Demon King's inheritance item, the Demon King's crown? Qin Feng ignored the guards and said to Guardian by Mei impatiently, "Don't waste time. Hurry up and bring us to see Lu Yu." Qin Feng was racing against time. He planned to save Lu Yu and immediately bring everyone out of the Demon Clan's sacred land. Although he took down the Demon King, he was still an orthodox martial cultivator and the alliance master of the martial world. If the Demon Clan found out about this, they would definitely die from anger. Guardian by Mei's body trembled. He didn't dare to delay any longer and immediately led everyone into the palace. After making many turns, they finally arrived at the underground confinement room. This confinement room was similar to the prison in the secular world. There were many rooms inside, and many people were locked inside. Young Demon King Feng, Lu Yu's disciple, is locked in this room. Guardian by Mei walked to a metal door and stood still. Su Ruo hurriedly ran over. Hurry up and open the door." Guardian by Mei didn't dare to disobey. He suddenly slapped the door, and a profound handprint landed on the metal door. A red light flashed, and a formation on the door seemed to be removed. Crack! The door opened on its own, and inside was a medium-sized room. There was nothing in the room, and Lu Yu was sitting cross-legged in an old gray robe. "Mom, it's really you. Ruoro is here to save you." Su Ruo ran into the room with tears streaming down her face. She knelt in front of Lu Yu and hugged her shoulders as she cried bitterly. Chapter 1246. Lu Yu took the initiative to return to Stellar Lunasect to apologize because she didn't want to implicate Su Ruo and Qin Feng. After finding out that the conflict between Qin Feng and Su Ruo had been resolved and that the two of them were happily reunited, Lu Yu put down all the burdens in her heart. However, she never expected that Qin Feng would actually bring Su Ruo to the Star Moon sect. Ruo, Qin Feng, why are you here? Leave quickly. There are many experts in Stellar Luna sect. You'll be in danger. Lu Yu didn't know and panicked. She looked at Great Protector Whitebrowed and pleaded, Great Protector Whitebrowed, I'm willing to stay in this isolation room for the rest of my life to repent for my sins. Please let Ruo, Qin Feng, and the others go. In the past, Lu Yu was the candidate for the Holy Maiden of the Demon Clan, but now, she was nothing. However, the situation had changed drastically, and Lu Yu had suddenly become the mother of the current Holy Maiden of the Demon Clan. She was also the mother-in-law of the Demon King, young Master Feng, so even if he was beaten to death, he wouldn't dare to neglect her. Mother of the Saintess, don't say that. It was our Stellar Luna sect that was in the wrong. Please forgive us. Bai Mei's attitude had changed by 180 degrees, which confused Lu Yu. She looked at Su Ruo and then at Qin Feng with a confused expression. Mom, Qin Feng just took the position of Demon King at the Demon Race Convention. I've also become the Demon Race Saintess. Mom doesn't need to go into isolation anymore. In the future, we won't be separated. Su Ruo sobbed. She couldn't express her feelings of reuniting with her mother. Lu Yu was stunned for a long time before coming to her senses. She looked at Qin Feng and the girl in disbelief. Wasn't Qin Feng the martial arts alliance master? He was an orthodox martial cultivator. How did he become the Demon Race King? Qin Feng seemed to see Lu Yu's confusion and quickly said, Auntie, this isn't the place to talk. I'll take everyone away now. Lu Yu roughly understood. Qin Feng was most likely pretending to be a Demon Race disciple to run for the position of Demon King. If the Demon Race found out, it would be terrible. Okay, let's go. Lu Yu quickly got up. She wanted to leave this place with Qin Feng and the girl. However, Protector Whitebrowed did not notice anything fishy. From the beginning to the end, he had been very careful. He was afraid that if he made Qin Feng unhappy, he would be killed. Everyone followed the White-Browed Guardian and walked out of the door. With the White-Browed Guardian leading the way, no one dared to stop them. Young Demon King Feng, since you've come to our Stellar Luna Sect's territory, please allow me to represent the Stellar Luna Sect to entertain you. It's also a celebration for the Demon King and an apology for what happened to Lu Yu's disciple. After walking out of the palace, Protector Whitebrowed hurriedly tried to please Qin Feng. Hua Yan's face turned cold as she said, We still have something to deal with. You don't have to follow us. Everyone was in a hurry to leave the demon race's sacred land, so how could they stay in the Star Luna sect to eat, drink, and be merry? At that time, if the demon race really recognized Qin Feng's identity, there would definitely be a great battle. Protector Whitebrowed shuddered. He hurriedly smiled and said, Saintess, please calm down. Since you all still have something to do, I won't hold you back. However, since the Demon King and the two Saintesses have arrived, according to the demon race's rules, I'll send the sect leader to welcome you. Why don't you all wait for a moment? I'll inform the Star Moon sect leader to come over. As Protector Whitebrowed spoke, he ran back into the palace. Qin Feng became curious. What realm was the Star Moon sect leader of the Star Moon sect? If she was stronger than the female demon, Bai Yu, then she would be a difficult opponent. Qin Feng, what should we do? Su Ruo looked at Qin Feng worriedly. What do you think we should do? Leaving is the best option. After Qin Feng finished speaking, he dragged everyone away. Everyone was brought in by Protector Whitebrowed. They walked all the way to the entrance of the Star Luna sect, but no one dared to stop them. The guard at the entrance knew Qin Feng's identity and even knelt on one knee to greet Qin Feng. This group of demon race idiots. If they knew my dear is the Martial League Alliance Master, Would they faint from anger? After running hundreds of meters away from the star Luna's sect, everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Huayan couldn't help but laugh out loud. Su Ruoro's nervous expression also became funny. Thinking about what Qin Feng had done made everyone speechless. Lu Yu and Li Tao also heaved a sigh of relief. Everyone thought that the rescue plan was successful. However, Qin Feng suddenly stopped, and his face was full of seriousness. Qin Feng, what's wrong? Su Ruoro immediately hugged Qin Feng's arm. She had a feeling that something was going to happen. Li Tao's expression had already turned cold. He and Qin Feng looked into the distance. A cloud of dust was flying, and the sound of hurried footsteps and horse hooves could be heard. Oh no, my identity might have been discovered. Qin Feng's words stunned everyone. Everyone had already seen the group of people galloping over from afar. Chong Lu and the others rode fierce horses at the forefront. Behind them was a group of demon race disciples running over. It seemed like there was a distance of 1,000 meters, but in a few breaths, the group of people had already closed in. Hurry up and run. Huayan's expression changed greatly as she looked at Qin Feng and said. Qin Feng took a step forward, and his tall figure was like a towering mountain. He blocked in front of everyone and said, "You guys go first. I'll stop them." Qin Feng had already leaped away, and 2 balls of flames appeared under his feet. In the blink of an eye, he appeared in the distant sky. Su Ruoro and the others anxiously stamped their feet. If Qin Feng didn't go, how could they leave? Ruoro, take Annie and Li Tao and leave first. I'll go help Qin Feng. Huayan pulled out the blood shadow whip from her waist and followed. Su Ruoro didn't have time to stop Huayan. In a moment of desperation, she pulled out the soft sword from her waist and followed. Mom, look after Li Tao. He's heavily injured. Don't come over. Qin Feng appeared in the void. He was dressed in a cold white robe, and his long hair was loose. He held a dazzling golden blade that was like a phoenix wing in his hand. The demon race disciples who saw him felt fear in their hearts. Chong Lu had already stopped his horse and looked up at Qin Feng in the sky. Beside him were the Soul Lock Grandmaster, the red-headed old freak, and the sword demon Great Sovereign. The 4 of them represented the 4 major demon sections. Each of them had a group of people behind them. There were more than 100 people in total. They were all top experts of the demon race. The lowest realm among them was an 8th-layer demon cultivator. What do you mean by this? Qin Feng looked down at the experts of the demon race. His expression was as cold as ice. Not long ago, everyone saw Qin Feng's skill. They saw him kill everyone in the demon race convention. The elite disciples who followed him were incomparably puzzled. They didn't know why Chong Lu and the others wanted to kill young Master Feng. Didn't he just seize the throne of the demon race? What do you think we came here for? If you know what's good for you, then give up. Otherwise, you'll hurt the innocent. When Chong Lu faced Qin Feng, he was still a little nervous. But now that things had come to this, how could he shrink back? Qin Feng's expression turned cold, and his body erupted with true qi. He knew what Chong Lu meant. He was referring to Su Ruoro and the others. Qin Feng hated being threatened the most. Those who threatened him in the past were all dead. I am the demon race's king. You brought people to trouble me? Is there something wrong with your brain? Qin Feng thought that Chong Lu had discovered his identity. But now, it seemed that was not the case. Chong Lu felt a little guilty. He had joined forces with the 5 great sects to capture the demon race's king. This kind of thing had never happened before. Don't talk so much nonsense. If you don't stay here today, don't think about leaving. Chong Lu roared. If you obediently surrender, I promise to let the others go. Bullshit. I am the demon race's holy maiden. Do you think I'm afraid of you? Huayan rushed to Qin Feng's side and angrily rebuked Chong Lu. Chong Lu was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. Not long ago, he was the demon race's king. The entire demon race's holy land listened to his orders. But now, even an 8th-layer demon cultivator little girl dared to rebuke him. Su Ruoro arrived and said with a cold face, "If young Master Feng doesn't leave, we won't leave. Don't think of using us to threaten young Master Feng." The 2 women weren't afraid of death. If they didn't leave with Qin Feng, then they would fight to the death with him. Chong Lu and the red-headed old freak's face turned ugly. They didn't think that the two women would be so unyielding. Great Master Soul Locke, why do we have to harm young Master Feng? Someone from the Void Soul Palace questioned. Every disciple in the crowd had the same question in their hearts. They all asked, Redhead Elder, didn't young Master Feng just become the Demon King? Shouldn't we listen to his orders? Great Venerable Sword Demon, we will make a move against young Master Feng. Wouldn't that be breaking the rules of the demon race? At this moment, Qin Feng was still wearing the demon race's king's crown. The symbolic meaning of this crown had been passed down since the emergence of the demon race. These demon race disciples only recognized the crown and not the person. Now, in everyone's eyes, Qin Feng was the demon king. The weight of his words far exceeded the orders of the great elders and sect leaders of the various sections. Chong Lu and the others' faces darkened. They were so angry that smoke came out of their heads. This time, they joined hands to capture Qin Feng, to force him to reveal the Demon Lord's treasure book. The four of them didn't say anything about this, so the disciples naturally didn't know the inside story. Seeing that their plan was going to fail before it even started, the four of them were sweating profusely. Suddenly, they heard a cry of surprise coming from the group of demon race disciples. I remember now. He is the Martial Arts Alliance leader. This voice wasn't loud, but it was like a muffled thunder that fell on the vast plain. The disciple stared at Qin Feng for a while and finally added in a firm tone, I'm sure that's right. He is the Martial Arts Alliance leader Qin Feng. He is also the Green Dragon of China. Previously, I disguised myself as an orthodox martial cultivator and sneaked into the righteous sects to meet this person. I already felt that he looked familiar. Now I finally understand. After the disciple's voice faded, the crowd didn't move for a long time. Not to mention the group of demon disciples were shocked. Even Demon Lord and the other three were shocked. They were planning to get Qin Feng's Demon Lord treasure book, but they didn't expect that Qin Feng turned out to be an orthodox cultivator. And he was the Martial Arts Alliance leader? However, the four of them couldn't figure it out. Qin Feng was a righteous martial cultivator. How could he possess the Demon Lord's treasure book? For the fastest and error-free reading, please bookmark this site for the latest news. Chapter 1247. You brat. So you're the leader of the martial arts circle? I think you are courting death. After knowing Qin Feng's true identity, Chong Lu almost fell off his horse. After all, a leader of a righteous sect came to the sacred land of the demon race to participate in the demon race convention. What's even more ridiculous is that he became the leader of the martial arts circle. The red-headed old monster, the great venerable sword demon, and the soul lock master were all depressed. They felt disgusted as if they had eaten a fly. The demon disciples who were in awe of Qin Feng were all stunned at this moment. They were shocked by the shocking fact in front of them. What should we do? Qin Feng, your identity has really been discovered. Hua Yin and Su Ruo were so anxious that they wanted to kick the talkative demon disciple to death. Before Qin Feng and the other two could react, a black shadow came from the sky. Chong Lu had already launched an attack. Qin Feng, I want to see how powerful you, the leader of the martial arts circle, is. I, the king of the demon race, is more powerful. Since the emergence of the Chinese martial arts circle, the demons and the righteous have been irreconcilable. The previous few demon kings and the leader of the martial arts circle have had the opportunity to fight against each other. Those orthodox martial cultivators and the demon race sects also have endless grievances. At this time, the leaders of the righteous and the demon sects have gathered here. It is impossible not to fight. Boom! A loud sound had already exploded. Chong Lu's palm made a deep pit on the ground. If Qin Feng hadn't pulled the two women to dodge in time, Hua Yin and Su Ruo would have been hit. You guys go back. Qin Feng's expression became dignified. He hadn't really fought with Chong Lu before, but from the palm just now, he could see the depth of the opponent's strength. Obviously, he was a powerhouse that can't be underestimated. Qin Feng. The two women looked at Qin Feng with a worried face. They wanted to stay and fight side by side with him, but they were interrupted by Qin Fen coldly. "Go back." Qin Fen was overbearing. In the end, the two women could only obey and quickly flew back to Lu Yu and Li Tao. They also realized that this battle was fierce. If they stayed, they would only drag Qin Fen back. "Want to leave? You group of martial cultivators trespassed the sacred land of the demon race. Today, none of you will leave alive." Demon Lord's palm missed, but his figure appeared in front of Qin Feng's body. His big hand grabbed Qin Feng's back and pulled out a slender blue sword. The long sword slashed through the air, emitting a sword hum. Balls of lightning danced on the blade of the sword, and with a wave of his hand, it formed a ball of lightning that shot towards Qin Feng. Whoosh! The sound of the electric current sent chills down everyone's spine. The electric ball grew larger and larger, and finally, like a meteorite falling from the sky, it smashed into Qin Feng's head. This scene caused Su Ruoro and the others to scream in fear. Even the sword demon Great Venerable and the others were stunned. They have long heard that Demon Lord refined his devil chi and formed his thunder and lightning attribute. But now that they saw the power of thunder and lightning, they couldn't help but feel fear in their heart. Whoosh! The lightning balls were fast, but they were still no match for Qin Feng's golden whirlwind wheels. The golden whirlwind wheels were a pair of great sage gold-grade spiritual equipment, and they moved even faster than a flying sword. The void was densely covered with lightning balls, as if there were landmines hanging in the air. But there were two golden flame-like dots shuttling freely among the lightning balls, as if they were little fishes playing in the water. After waving his sword hundreds of times, Demon Lord suddenly stopped. He looked at Qin Feng, who was flying in the void, and scathed. He was so angry that his lungs were about to explode. "What are you still doing? Let's attack together." Demon Lord's roar woke up the old man and the others who were still in shock. The other demon disciples also woke up. Everyone looked at the dense, lightning balls in the sky, but they didn't dare to rush forward to attack. If they were accidentally hit by the lightning balls, it would be fatal. "Boy, how dare you hurt my senior brother? Watch my palm." Master Soul Lock stepped on the back of the horse, and along with the horse's neigh, he turned into a black shadow and flew to the sky. Then he used both of his palms to attack the void. Sizzle, sizzle, sizzle. Several ice walls appeared, blocking the area where the golden fire wheels appeared. Each ice wall was more than 5 meters high and more than 10 meters long. Soon, they surrounded the sky and blocked Qin Feng's escape route. Gotcha! But a moment later, there was a slight cracking sound in the air. The sound was drowned out by the explosion of thunder and lightning. After a few breaths, under everyone's shocked expressions, the ice wall that covered the sky shattered one after another. A pink light flickered continuously, and the ice wall was pierced through like tofu, exploding into a rain of ice shards that drifted down. "Good boy. Let your grandfather come and fight with you." Master Solok was only a third-layer demon general. He was the weakest among the 4 demon disciples. His ice attribute Demon Chi obviously had no effect on Qin Feng. It was completely destroyed by Qin Feng's Starry Sky flying sword. However, another roar exploded, and the red-headed old monster leaped up. His fiery red hair danced in the wind, like a burning flame in the wind. The red mark between the old man's eyebrows emitted a dazzling light. His body suddenly ignited with a raging fire. The flames rose to the sky and reached more than 5 meters high. Redhead Old Devil's body was swallowed by the flames. His figure was no longer visible. However, with a loud bang, the huge fireball soared into the sky. Bang, bang, bang. Redhead Old Devil was unstoppable. He was like a cannonball that was launched into the sky. Even some of the thunderballs in the sky were hit away by the flames, but they didn't cause any harm to him. The speed of the flames was extremely fast. It was almost as fast as the Starry Sky flying sword. Qin Fen felt a strong sense of crisis. He didn't say anything and swung the golden phoenix sword in his hand. Bang. A loud noise shook the sky. A 100 meters long golden sword chi seemed to cut the space in half. The sword Chi collided with the redhead old devil, creating a huge movement. Qinfen stepped on the golden whirlwind wheel and quickly disappeared. He didn't dare to stay in this explosion. Redhead old devil was hit by the sword Chi. His body was sent flying, but he only flew for dozens of meters before he stabilized his body and landed on the ground. The first wave of attack fell. It was soul-stirring and shook the mountains and rivers, but it was completed in an instant. When Demon Lord saw that the long-range attack had no effect, he raised his sword and chased after Qinfen. Sword Demon Great Venerable also made a move. He stood on the plain with his palms together and his eyes closed. His mouth opened and closed as he quickly chanted an ancient spell. Different rays of sword Chi floated around his body, as if it was condensing into a real sword. Go! As Sword Demon Great Venerable suddenly opened his eyes, he waved his long sleeves, and dozens of swords around him flew into the sky. His method of condensing swords to kill shocked everyone. This move was the same as the demonic Chi soldiers. It was a powerful movement technique that could only be used by a demon king. Standing on the side, the redhead old devil and the soul lock master were shocked. Even Demon Lord couldn't help but glance at Sword Demon Great Venerable. The reason why the 5 major sects of the devil religion didn't fall for hundreds of years was because they had a mysterious and powerful inheritance. The secret inheritance of the Void Soul Temple was to control one's mind. The secret inheritance of the ancient demon sword sect was the demonic Chi sword. Swish, swish, swish. Dozens of sword Chi flew in the sky, flashing with different lights. It was like a gorgeous firework exploding in the sky. However, these sword Chi contained powerful demonic Chi. A slight graze from these sword Chi could seriously injure and kill an ordinary devil cultivator. Qinfen was surprised when he was attacked by dozens of sword Chi. Currently, Qinfen could only control one flying sword, but the Sword Demon Great Venerable could control 32 swords of Chi at the same time. However, Qinfen quickly realized that even though the swords of Chi were powerful, they were nothing compared to the Sword Demon Great Venerable's cultivation realm. While Demon Great Venerable and Sword Demon Great Venerable chased after Qinfen, the redhead old devil and the soul lock master also recovered their breath and attacked Qinfen at the same time. The joint attack of the 4 fourth-layer devil generals was not to be underestimated. Even Qinfen, who was riding on the golden whirlwind wheel, began to lose his strength. His body was hit from time to time. Qinfen, be careful. No, I have to help Qinfen. Hua Yin and Su Ruoro, who were standing in the distance, were anxious. If Lu Yu didn't hold them back, they would have rushed to help. Lu Yu was also anxious, but she was older and calmer. Everyone calm down. This is a battle between 4th-layer devil generals. If we go, we will die in vain. We will also distract Qinfen. Lu Yu was right. Both Su Ruoro and Hua Yin understood this, but they couldn't just watch as Qinfen continued to be hit. Li Tao covered the wound on his abdomen and cursed. Feng Xingyu's sword had pierced through his abdomen, and he suffered a serious internal injury. Now, he couldn't use any demonic Chi. Otherwise, he would have rushed to help. Rumble. Another explosion occurred in the sky. Demon Lord's sword struck Qinfen's abdomen and sent him flying to the ground. Su Ruoro and the other screamed. Demon Lord and the other 3 quickly flew to the huge pit on the ground. They knew how powerful Qinfen was, so they wouldn't give him a chance to breathe. The Alliance Master of Wulin? It's just so. After we kill you and learn the secret manual, we will kill all the righteous sects in the world. From then on, demonic cultivators will be the righteous path. The 4 of them looked at Qinfen coldly. The red-headed old monster and the soul lock master even had a playful smile on their faces. It was as if Qinfen was definitely going to die this time. The 4 of you joined hands and barely managed to injure me. Do you have a nerve to show off here? Do you think I, Qinfen, have no helpers? A roar came from the bottom of the pit, followed by continuous explosions in the sky. One figure after another descended from the sky like a god of war. You ants dare to bully my master? Watch my blade. The Golden Fur Lion King had a bad temper. As soon as he appeared, he swung his dragon blade down. 100-meter long golden blade, Qi surged over. It was comparable to the momentum of Qin Fun's Golden Phoenix. Demon Lord and the others were stunned for a moment and quickly dodged. Rumble. The original huge pit was cut open by the Golden Fur Lion King's blade. Qin Fan had already turned into a white shadow and arrived in the air. His white robe fluttered in the wind. He stepped on two balls of flames and carried a domineering long blade that looked like a phoenix feather on his shoulder. Behind Qin Fan, three figures appeared. The Golden Fur Lion King, who scared away Demon Lord and the others with a slash, was already strong enough, but there was also a white-clothed youth and a gray-robed old monster. Looking at the surging aura of the two of them, it was obvious that they were also top-notch experts. P.S. We are currently fighting on the monthly votes list. Students who have monthly votes, please vote. Thank you very much. For the fastest update without mistakes, please collect this site to read the latest. Chapter 1248. Demon Lord and the others didn't know the strength of Shimin Shueishua and Ouyang Feng, but they clearly felt the power of the Golden Fur Lion King. This person was surging with true Qi. He was definitely at the 4th level of true Qi. However, they found that this was just the beginning. There were continuous loud noises from all directions, and a group of strange things appeared. Roar, roar. The glacial snow mastiff had appeared out of nowhere and was galloping across the boundless plain, roaring like an ancient wild beast, scaring the demon race disciple into a panic. But there was another burning flame in the sky. The flame was moving so fast that no one could see the appearance of the flaming golden eagle. Wherever the golden eagle passed, a rain of fire fell. The power of the demonic beast fire was so strong that even the fire attribute demonic cultivators didn't dare to touch it. Rumble. There was also an explosion. This time, even Demon Lord and the others were at a loss. Obviously, they didn't know what the hell was going on. Qin Fan activated the ghost head golden talisman of the 5 kings of the green sect. The 5 kings turned into 5 ghostly shadows floating in the air, but their strength was no different from when they were alive. As soon as they appeared, they brought out a rolling black mist and evil Qi, covering most of the sky. What the hell? What kind of monsters are these? Where did they come from? The demon disciples have not made a move yet, so they were all scared. It seems like evil cultivators, such a strong evil Qi. Everyone don't touch that black mist. It is poisonous. The black mist of corpse Qi quickly shrouded the hundreds of demonic cultivators on the plain. Some of the black mist was poisonous and devoured the blood of the demonic cultivator's body. Some of the black mist directly exploded and turned into black flames, as if it was going to burn everything. The crowd suddenly exploded. The group of demon generals panicked as if they had seen a ghost. No one fought back. They were all scared and ran away. Demon Lord and the others thought that they could capture Qin Fan alive and force him to reveal the Demon Lord treasure book. Then, they would step into the Demon King realm. But the result was that their fantasy was shattered. Looking at the chaotic demon disciples, the 4 of them flew into a rage. What is going on? In the midst of the intense battle, another group of people suddenly ran over. The one leading them was the stellar Lunasek's great protector, Whitebrowed. When he saw the scene in front of him, he was so shocked that he almost fell. Whitebrow, hurry up and call your star Lunasek's people over to help. Capture Qin Fan for me. Chong Lu immediately shouted when he saw the star Lunasek's people coming. Bai Mei was confused. He didn't understand the situation at this time. Demon Lord, who do you want to catch? Who is Qin Fan? It's young Demon King Fan. He's Martial Alliance Master Qin Fan. While Demon Lord was fighting with Golden Fur Lion King, he roared at Bai Mei. Bai Mei felt like he was struck by lightning. He was shocked by this news. The Wulian Alliance Master actually stepped into the demon race's holy land. He even became the king of the fiend race. If this matter were to spread out, wouldn't he become a laughing stock? You bunch of bastards! You dare to pretend to be my fiend race's people to cause trouble. Demon King Chong Lu, my sect leader, Star Moon sect leader, is hereafter by May recovered. His face changed. He already attacked Shimin Chue Shui with his palm. In the place where he was standing before, there were 5 people standing there. Among them, there were 4 men dressed in black who looked like guards. There was also a woman dressed in white standing there with a cold expression. The woman's cold and beautiful face was emotionless. The red demonic mark between her eyebrows seemed to condense into a substance. This was the Star Moon sect leader and the previous fiend race's saintess. Star Moon sect leader, hurry up and attack. When Chong Lu saw the fiend race's saintess, his heavy mood instantly eased a lot. This fiend race's saintess was very powerful. Even Chong Lu didn't have full confidence that he could defeat her. Righteous disciples dare to cause trouble in the fiend race. Quickly release the fiend race's god token and summon all the fiend race's disciples to come and help. The Star Moon sect leader was not in a hurry to attack. She swept a few glances at the situation of the battle. Although the opponents were few in number, they were all peak experts. Finally, a fiend race's disciple came back to his senses. He hurriedly lit up a firecracker and threw it into the sky. With a loud explosion, the red mist quickly dissipated. Seeing that the fiend race's god token had been released, the Star Moon sect leader leaped lightly. It looked like she took a small step forward, but in the blink of an eye, she arrived beside Ouyang Feng, who was 100 meters away. As a member of the fiend race, you actually betrayed and helped that stinking Bratchin Feng? Courting death, the Star Moon sect leader coldly snorted. Her slender, jade-like palm struck out. It looked like a little girl acting coquettishly, but it seemed to carry the power of heaven and earth. In an instant, the air in front of Ouyang Feng shattered. Rumble. A loud explosion occurred. This palm was extremely fast. After all, Ouyang Feng was only at the first stage of True Qi realm. In front of the Star Moon sect leader, who was a level 4 demon general, he had no power to resist and was sent flying. After sending Ouyang Feng flying with a palm, the Star Moon sect leader leaped lightly. This time, she arrived beside Shimin Chue Shui. Shimin Chue Shui's expression was heavy. The black scabbard sword in his hand quickly swung down. The light sword instantly condensed thousands of sword chi, densely packed like a net, covering the Star Moon sect leader's head. Whoosh! The Star Moon sect leader casually patted, and a layer of ice wall appeared above her head. The surging sword chi collided with a layer of ice and actually produced a loud sound of metal clashing. The ice wall seemed to be indestructible. No matter how sharp Shimin Chue Shui's sword chi was, it never left a trace on the ice wall. A mere peak of level 9, inner chi dares to use a sword in front of the saintess? Fall for me. The Star Moon sect leader struck out with her palm. The ice wall flew out and hit Shimin Chue Shui's body. The ice wall exploded, and ice shards shot out in all directions like bullets. Shimin Chue Shui was sent flying, and he spat out a few mouthfuls of blood in midair. With the addition of the Star Moon sect leader, the situation of the battle instantly changed. When Qin Feng saw Ouyang Feng and Shimin Chue Shui were injured, his eyes turned red. He raised the golden phoenix and slashed at the woman. The 100-meter-long golden sword chi sliced the air in half. When the sword slashed down, it was as if the heaven and earth were going to collapse. The Star Moon sect leader's indifferent expression finally changed. A trace of seriousness flashed across her beautiful eyes. She hastily struck out with both of her palms, and a layer of ice wall condensed above her head. Boom! The sword chi landed on dozens of overlapping ice walls, and a loud sound of metal colliding rang out. Cracks appeared on the uppermost layer of the ice wall, and the cracks spread all the way to the bottom layer. In the blink of an eye, more than 30 layers of ice cracked from the middle, and like an explosion of ice flowers, it formed a hailstorm in the air. However, this was not an ordinary hailstorm. It was extremely fast in the violent explosion. Every hailstorm shot out like a bullet and smashed small holes on the ground. Some of the hailstorms hit the demon disciples and turned their bodies into beehives. Chapter 1249. Bang, 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 bang. The sky was filled with ice rain. The Star Moon High Priestess' beautiful eyes flickered as she watched the ice walls explode in the air. Her expression became solemn. She didn't expect Qin Fun to cut through her ice wall array with just one slash. She regained her composure after a few seconds. She stretched out her hand, and a long blue sword that shone like ice appeared in her hand. The surrounding temperature suddenly dropped. The Star Moon High Priestess swung her sword slowly like a Tai Chi sword, but in the blink of an eye, Qin Fun was shrouded in dense cold sword chi whoosh. The sword chi suddenly turned into ice spikes in the air and exploded in all directions. Each ice spike was 5 to 6 meters long and looked like an icicle hanging on the edge of a building in a world of ice and snow. Ice Soul, godly sword. The Star Moon Sect Master's face was colder than ice. The icicles were so sharp that they seemed to be able to split mountains and split the earth. Just a slight graze would be enough to pierce a large hole in one's body. Hundreds of icicles exploded in the air. The power was even more ferocious than the Demon King's lightning balls. "Master, be careful!" Golden Fur Lion King roared and swung his Dragon Slayer saber. 100-meter-long golden sword Chi exploded behind Qin Fun and shattered all the ice spikes behind him. The Star Moon High Priestess shouted at the sword demon, "Great Venerable, you guys stop that lion. Demon King Zhonglu, we'll take down this brat together." The Star Moon High Priestess had already injured Shimenchui Shui and Ouyang Feng. At this moment, dozens of demon disciples were besieging the two of them. Qin Fun and Golden Fur Lion King were the deciding factors on the battlefield. The Star Moon High Priestess ordered everyone to change their formation. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. Sword Demon Great Venerable stood in the same place with his eyes half closed. The sound of wind breaking could be heard everywhere as dozens of sword chi shot towards the Golden Fur Lion King under his control. Redhead Old Freak and Soul Lock Master also attacked. One tried to interfere with Golden Fur Lion King's mind while the other turned into a man of fire and rushed to the sky to fight Golden Fur Lion King. The three of them attacked Golden Fur Lion King and forced him to retreat. On the other side, Demon King and the Star Moon High Priestess were even more ferocious. Crackle. The sky was filled with dark clouds, and the lightning balls floated under the dark clouds. Qin Fun was surrounded by layers of ice, and he was like a ticking time bomb that couldn't be touched. However, dozens of ice spikes suddenly exploded, and the speed at which the ice spikes formed was extremely fast. Even Qin Fun, who was standing on the golden whirlwind wheel, couldn't dodge in time. Chirp! The white robe on Qin Fun's body was broken into pieces. He held a purple bow in his hand. While dodging the thunderballs and ice thorns, he seized the opportunity to draw his bow towards Demon Lord and the Star Moon Sect's leader. Every time the Heavenly Hawk bow was swung, it seemed as if the Heavenly Hawk bow carried the power of the heavens and earth. Purple hawks descended from the sky, causing half the sky to resound with battle cries. Was this the strength of a righteous martial arts alliance master? He's like an ant. The Star Moon Sect leader gradually gained the upper hand, and a look of disdain appeared on her pretty face. She couldn't be bothered to attack Qin Feng from afar. She leaped towards Qin Feng, and the blue sword in her hand danced nimbly. Suddenly, a cold air assaulted Qin Feng, making him feel as if he had fallen into a 10,000-year-old ice house. Whoosh! Every slash of the Star Moon Sect leader's sword brought along an ice cone that was tens of meters long. The ice cone was 4 to 5 meters thick, and it turned into dozens of ice dragons that attacked Qin Feng. The ice dragons were like living creatures, and they were still roaring at the sky. Wherever they went, even the air was immediately frozen. The surroundings were instantly frozen, as if time had stopped. Roar! In the end, 12 ice dragons were formed. All of them opened their mouths and roared angrily. Ice spewed out of their mouths and stabbed towards Qin Fun. Their speed was so fast that they arrived in front of Qin Fun in a breath's time. Insignificant skill, break it for me. Just when Hua Yin and the others were on tenterhooks, a thunderous roar and a tiger's roar came from the sky. A gust of wind blew, and dozens of ferocious green tigers appeared in the wind. It was as if they were descending from the sky. They bared their fangs and brandished their claws at the 12 ice dragons. Rumble. The sound of explosions rang out continuously. Dozens of ferocious tigers collided with the 12 ice dragons. The ferocious tigers quickly dissipated, but the huge and violent ice dragons were also torn apart in the collision. They were broken into several pieces from head to tail and fell to the ground like ice sculptures. A rain of icicles descended, scaring the demonic cultivators on the ground into hurriedly dodging. Some of them were a step too slow and were directly struck by the sharp icicles. The massive speed of the icicles was like a train crashing into them, and they were smashed into meat paste. Shimin Chue Shui and Ouyang Feng's faces were solemn. Fortunately, the flaming golden eagle arrived in time and carried the two of them to the sky to avoid the ice cones. Bingyuan Shui Wu was agile, and she shuttled freely in the rain of ice cones. From time to time, she would pounce on the demon cultivators and bite them to death. The battle was getting more and more intense, and the casualties were getting more and more serious. When the special Thunder Tiger Fizz collided with the Star Moon Sect leader's Ice Soul Godly Sword, Qin Fun was sent flying by the aftershock. The Star Moon Sect leader also fell to the ground and couldn't get up for a while. Rumble. The previous loud noise hadn't stopped, and a new explosion was heard. Seeing that Qin Fun was injured and fell to the ground, Demon Lord didn't hold back his strength. The icicles in the sky turned into a thunderstorm. The thunderballs were so dense that they formed a net, as if it was a sea of thunder. Hundreds of thunderballs fell like meteorites. The ground where Qin Fun fell was blown up into a sinkhole. Rumble. The explosion lasted for a long time. Everyone was shocked by the huge movement here, and they stopped what they were doing and looked over. Demon Lord was worthy of being the king of the demon race. The destructive power of his explosion shocked everyone. Even now, the valley was still shaking violently, as if there was a strong earthquake under their feet. A hint of joy flashed across the cold face of the Star Moon Sect Master. The group of demon disciples heaved a long sigh of relief in their hearts. Hua Yin and Su Ruo's legs gave way, and they sat on the ground. Li Tao looked as if his soul had been sucked out of his body. In front of everyone, smoke billowed on the plain hundreds of meters away. The land was obviously collapsed, and a huge pit was created by Demon Lord. Loud noises were still coming out from the deep pit, and each sound was as shocking as thunder. Qin Feng had fallen into the pit in front of them, and even Hua Yin and the others did not think that he could survive. Ta-ta-ta! At this time, the sound of hurried footsteps could be heard, and a large group of people rushed over from all directions. Dust was flying all around, and hundreds of fierce horses were galloping in the wind, neighing, and even more demon disciples were running over. It's over, it's over. No one can leave today. Lu Yu looked at the rapidly approaching reinforcements of the demon race, his eyes dimmed, and his heart fell into complete despair. The flaming golden eagle and the glacial snow mastiff stopped their attack and let out a burst of mournful wail as if they were howling for Qin Feng. Demon Lord and the others stood in a row. In just a minute, more than 400 demon disciples appeared around them. They were the ones who saw the demon race's divine order and rushed over. Lord Demon Lord, why did you suddenly summon the demon race's divine order? Greetings, Star Moon Sect Master and Saintess. Why don't I see young Demon King Feng? Did a fierce battle just take place here? Who dares to cause trouble in the demon race's sacred land? The group of demon disciples who just rushed over didn't know anything and looked at Demon Lord blankly. They had just participated in the demon race's conference and left separately. On their way back, they saw the divine order and immediately rushed back. Demon King Demon Lord's eyes flickered as he stared at the pit in the distance. He was very clear about Qin Feng's strength. Qin Feng was a venerable who cultivated the Demon Lord's Codex, but he didn't believe that Qin Feng would have a good time under such a violent thunderball explosion. Even if he didn't die, he would be half crippled. A bunch of bastards. Demon Lord stared at the pit for a while, seeing that the explosion was still going on, but Qin Feng didn't come out. He turned his head and swept his eyes over the demon disciples. Do you know who young Master Feng is? That kid is the martial world's alliance leader. Crash. The demon disciples who rushed over immediately exploded. What? Young Master Feng is the martial world's alliance leader? What the fuck was wrong with him? Everyone revealed a look of disbelief, but Demon Lord didn't think so. Because when he first knew Qin Feng's identity, he felt the same as everyone else. Seeing that the situation had become a little chaotic, the Star Moon Sect Master said, "There's no need to doubt Qin Feng's identity as the Alliance Master of the martial world. As the leader of the righteous faction, he actually dared to trespass into the sacred land of the demon race during the demon race convention and even deceived us to obtain the demon race king. This is a disgrace to the entire demon race. Fortunately, I joined hands with Demon King to defeat Qin Feng. Those are Qin Feng's accomplices. Go and capture them alive for me." Star Moon Sect leader was the previous demon saintess. Her status in the demon race was above tens of thousands of people. She only listens to Demon Lord's command. As soon as Su Ruo gave the order, the demons immediately snapped out of their daze. A few men with quick reflexes ran towards Su Ruo and Hua Yan. Hee. These two girls are this generation's holy maidens, one more beautiful than the other. I've long since fallen for them. When I catch them, I will take the opportunity to touch them. At that time, I will ask Demon King, 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 Demon King. Those who rushed up were all men. Their eyes sparkled when they saw Su Ruo and Hua Yan's beauty. The two women were still sitting on the ground in a daze. They stared blankly at the sky crater in the distance, unable to accept that Qin Feng had been killed by the explosion. Li Tao was so angry that he stood up and tried to stop the demon disciples. However, his injuries were severe. Just as he was about to circulate his qi, he tore his wounds and coughed in pain. Hurry up and take the two of them away. I'll stop them. Lu Yu shielded Li Tao and the other two behind him and sent out a palm strike. Several balls of ice flew up and shot toward the incoming group like flying daggers. Chapter 1250. Haha, little sisters, don't be afraid. Let Big Brother hug you first. TSK. They are really beautiful girls. Their beauty is comparable to the Star Moon Sect's leader. After Lu Yu was sent flying, 4 or 5 demon men immediately surrounded Hua Yan and Su Ruo. The two women were startled awake, but it was too late. One of the demon men reached out to touch Su Ruo's chest. Just as his palm was about to touch her, swoosh. Before Su Ruo could react, the sound of wind was heard, but no one noticed it because of the violent explosion in the sinkhole. A white light flashed, and the demon race disciple's hand instantly fell to the ground. With a pig-like face, he fantasized about the soft touch of his hand, but found that his hand did not seem to have any reaction. When the demon race disciple subconsciously looked down at his hand, he was immediately frightened to the point that his face turned ashen. How come my hand is gone?" The demon disciple screamed, and the others were stunned. They looked at the empty arm of the demon disciple and felt as if they had seen a ghost. Swoosh, swoosh, swoosh. At this time, white light shone in all directions. It was as dense as fireflies. Before everyone could react, more than a dozen demon disciples were cut into pieces by the wind blades. Their bodies fell to the ground, and their blood stained the plain. They didn't even know how they died. Oh no, that kid is still alive? This sudden change shocked everyone. The Star Moon Sect's leader frowned, and Chong Lu roared in anger. "What are you all doing? Go and catch those two women." Chonglu also felt that danger was everywhere. Qin Fun's strength was beyond his expectation. He was like a cockroach that couldn't be killed. Chonglu didn't want to fight with Qin Fun anymore. He wanted to catch Su Ruo and Hua Yin first, and then threaten Qin Fun to surrender. Bang! Bang! Chonglu was angry, and the demon disciples immediately rushed forward. This time, there were more than 30 demon disciples. They couldn't care less about Su Ruo and Hua Yin's beauty. As soon as they moved, they waved their fists. Their fists pierced through the air, and dozens of fireballs and icicles flew towards them. Roar! However, at this moment, an angry roar resounded through the valley. The voice seemed to contain a demonic nature, causing the demonic cultivators who had rushed in front of the two women to suddenly stop, as if their souls had been sucked out. Not only this group of disciples, but also the people standing next to them. They completely lost their mind because of this strange roar. However, Demon Lord and the others had a dignified look on their face. Their eyes moved quickly in the void. Demon King Chonglu, what does that sound? My head feels a little heavy. Master Soul Lock patted his head with a pained look on his face. The sword demon, Great Venerable, and the red-headed old freak were standing in the same place. They didn't seem to be behaving abnormally, but they were using their demonic energy to resist the demonic sound coming from all directions. This is magic roar, Demon Lord said with a dignified look. Even the leader of the Star Moon Church was shocked. What? The demon clan's divine art, demon roar? How could that kid know such a lost technique? Not only the leader of the Star Moon Church was shocked, but Demon Lord was also shocked. He was the king of the demonic race, but the demonic skill he practiced was only considered to be above average in the history of the demonic race. On the other hand, Qin Fun was a righteous cultivator who practiced the Demon Lord's Codex and the Little Chrysanthemum Codex. He even used the magic roar at this moment. Was this kid really a righteous cultivator? As soon as the magic roar was released, the whole valley shook violently. Rocks rolled down from the mountain, and the ground shook as if the sky was going to fall. The magic roar was a divine technique of the demonic race, and its effect was very strange. In the past, Shui-Er used the magic roar to control Qin Fun, and in the end, Qin Fun used the magic roar to control everyone in the Hong Kong International Hotel. At that time, Qin Fun was only a stage 9 inner Qi cultivator. Now that he had broken through to stage 2 true Qi, the demonic effect of the magic roar was more than 10 times stronger. The roars came one after another, like the roars of an ancient giant beast. However, the roars also contained a strange energy that penetrated into everyone's mind and lingered there. All the demonic disciples were affected by the magic roar. In the magic roar, they completely showed their inner instincts and did what they usually did. Many of the disciples swung their broadswords at Zhonglu. It seemed like they all wanted to take over the position of the king of the demonic race. More than half of the disciples pounced on the Star Moon cult leader with frivolous smiles on their faces. They were actually peeping at the Star Moon cult leader's beauty. There were also people laughing, singing, and running. Hua Yin and Su Ruo hugged each other and kept shouting Qin Fun's name. Li Tao hugged a tree and took off his clothes, shouting Qin Fun's name. You bastards! How dare you peep at this lord position? Go to hell! Zhonglu and the other four were not controlled by the magic roar. Zhonglu struck out his palm, and a dozen or so lightning balls swept out, instantly blasting a dozen or so demonic cultivators into pieces. The Star Moon cult leader's face was as cold as frost. She looked at the group of demonic disciples who took off their pants and flew towards her. She casually swung her sword, and a huge ice dragon appeared in the air. As the dragon flew past, dozens of demonic elites were instantly frozen into ice sculptures. Demon King Zhonglu, Star Moon cult leader. These people have been affected by the magic roar. Quickly think of a way to get rid of it, or else our reinforcements will be killed. Seeing their disciples being killed one by one, the hearts of the three of them were bleeding. Zhonglu and the Star Moon cult leader finally calmed down. Their eyes swept across the sky, looking for Qin Fun's whereabouts. Whoosh! High up in the sky, A golden shadow flickered constantly. Qin Fan stood on two balls of flames, and a black domineering mech appeared on his body. The black dragon mech was black, as if it wanted to devour the surrounding darkness, but Qin Fan's body was shining with golden light. After receiving a fatal blow from Zhong Lu, Qin Fan activated the Vajra Art's invincible golden body. At this moment, his body was shining with golden light, but it was devoured by the black dragon mech, forming a circle of golden black halo, like a sun and a black hole. Qin Fan, I want you to die a horrible death? Zhong Lu was completely enraged. Just as he locked on a Qin Fan's position, dozens of lightning balls flew in the air. The Star Moon sect leader also brandished her sword, and 8 ice dragons roared in the sky. The Soul Lock Grandmaster, the red-headed old monster, and the Sword Demon Great Venerable ignored the injured Golden Fur Lion King. They joined forces with Zhong Lu and the Star Moon sect leader to attack Qin Fan. The 5 experts of the Demon Clan joined forces to attack. It was as if half of the sky had been cracked by them. You dare to attack my master? Watch my blade. The Golden Fur Lion King's long hair was messed up, and his body was covered with wounds. The dragon's salure fell, but his aura was not as strong as before. A golden dragon that was more than 50 meters long whizzed out, smashing an ice dragon and disappearing. Swish! Just as the Golden Fur Lion King was about to slash a second time, he discovered that he had actually been recalled into the system. At the same time, the seriously injured Shimen Shueishue, Ouyang Feng, and the 2 war pets were all taken away by Qin Fan. Only the 5 kings of the Azure sect were still assisting Qin Fan in battle. Although the 5 kings of the Azure sect were powerful, they could not withstand the siege of 300 to 400 Demon Clan disciples. Every time they were summoned by Qin Fan, they would all be annihilated in less than half a minute. Activating the 5 Kings Ghost Head Golden Talisman also consumed a lot of true chi and mind power. Seeing that the Ghost Head Golden Talisman was not very effective, Qin Fan simply did not even summon the 5 Kings of the Azure sect. Golden light flickered in the sky. At this moment, Qin Fan was the only one fighting. 5 venerables of the demon race joined hands to pursue Qin Fan, and there were still 300 to 400 elite demon disciples on the ground trying to disrupt Qin Fan. Their powerful attacks were unavoidable. Even though Qin Fan was riding on the golden whirlwind wheel, he was still constantly attacked. If it wasn't for the protection of the invincible golden body, his body would have exploded long ago. Qin Fan, I advise you to surrender obediently. This king can leave you with an intact corpse. Zhong Lu's serious expression became playful again as he shouted while chasing. From time to time, demonic roars could be heard, and white and pink lights alternated on the ground. The wind blade martial skill combined with the starry sky, flying sword, swept away a large number of demon disciples. Qin Fan felt that his body could not hold on any longer, and the black dragon mech on his body made a slight cracking sound. Qin Fan's dignified face was almost dripping water, and his eyes were flashing with anger. He was completely enraged by the demons. Zhong Lu, you forced me to do this. I originally wanted to take Lu Yu away, but now I want to wash the demon clan with blood. Qin Fan's roar shook the sky like an enraged beast. However, Zhong Lu, the Star Moon sect leader, and the others only smiled lightly. Obviously, they did not put Qin Fan's ruthless words in their eyes. Now that Qin Fan was besieged by everyone, he was already a crossbow with a strong bow. He did not even have the ability to protect himself. Who would believe that he could still fight back? Not to mention the arrogant words of washing the demon clan with blood. Oh, why don't you wash them with blood and show this king? I'm afraid you don't have that ability. Zhong Lu laughed proudly, but his smile suddenly froze on his face. Then his eyes widened, and his jaw dropped to the ground. Bang! Qin Fan moved his mind slightly, and a silver cannon that was half the height of a person appeared on his waist. This wind and cloud wild demon cannon has 2 muzzles and can be fired at the same time. Qin Fan turned around and fired at the 5 people chasing behind him. Bang, 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 bang. White true chi shells fell like raindrops, but their speed was 10 times faster than ordinary bullets. True chi condensed in the shells, and as long as they hit anything, they will immediately explode. The powerful destructive power made everyone speechless. Damn, what is this thing? Zhonglu was shocked. After his body was hit by more than 10 bullets, he grimaced in pain and quickly retreated to avoid it. The Star Moon sect leader waved 2 ice dragons in an attempt to block the bullets. As a result, the ice dragons were instantly smashed into pieces and fell to the ground. The Star Moon sect leader was so scared that he did not dare to fight back. The red-headed old freak and sword demon Great Venerable both suffered a loss and fled. Soul Lock Grandmaster was the weakest venerable among the 5. Before he could react, hundreds of Zhun Qi bullets instantly hit him. Along with a series of violent explosions, Soul Lock Grandmaster's body had already turned into a pile of flesh and blood. A third-layer demon general fell just like that, and all the demon disciples were shocked. They forgot to attack and stood in the same place stupidly, looking at the huge cannon hanging on Qin Fun's waist. As cultivators, when have these demon cultivators seen such a powerful advanced weapon? Ordinary pistols and even machine guns couldn't kill these demon cultivators. So what was this dragon head battle cannon in Qin Fun's hand? The bullets that were fired were very strange. They actually contained violent true chi. Chapter 12:51. Demon King Zhonglu was stunned. Star Moon sect leader, Redhead Monster, and Sword Demon Great Venerable were dumbfounded. How terrifying was a level 3 demon general expert? Even the 4 of them would find it difficult to kill the Soul Lock Master. Yet, he was killed by Qin Fun with a single cannon blast? What the hell is that? Redhead Monster's voice was trembling. Sword Demon Great Venerable had stopped attacking and was frantically dodging the attacks of the True Chi bullets. He was a level 4 demon general, a powerful existence in the sacred land of the demon race. But now he was scared like a child. Star Moon sect leader and demon king Zhonglu frowned. They couldn't answer Redhead Monster's question. The Wind and Cloud Mad Demon Cannon was a high-tech battle equipment produced by Star Technology. How could these demon cultivators know about it? Who cares what it is? Let's join hands and kill Qin Fun. After a short period of shock, Demon King quickly regained his senses. He roared and shot his palms toward the void. Hundreds of thunderballs appeared out of thin air and met the true chi bullets of the Wind and Cloud Mad Demon Cannon. The 2 powerful attacks collided in the void, causing the earth to shake. The Star Moon sect leader also followed. The Ice Soul Divine General slashed out dozens of ice dragons. The originally fierce and violent dragons could not bear the heavy blows of the True Chi bullets at this moment. Instead, they were smashed into pieces of ice that drifted away. Demon disciples, listen to my command. Let's kill Qin Fun together. Redhead Monster and Sword Demon Great Venerable were still a little afraid, but there was no way out. They shouted for the entire demon race to fly towards Qin Fun. True Chi bullets rained down from the sky, and each of them contained the berserk aura of an expert at the 2nd layer of True Chi. A large number of disciples of the demon clan were instantly blown away the moment they came into contact with the shells. Only the experts at the Devil General stage were barely able to block a few. Boom! Redhead Monster was enraged. His whole body was on fire. He turned into a man of fire and rushed towards the void. The True Chi bullets seemed to have a mind of their own. All of them condensed together and turned into a rain of cannonballs that shot towards the red-headed old freak. Violent explosions spread out from his body, but those True Chi bullets were burned by the raging flames and did not cause any harm to the old freak. Red light flashed. That old monster was as fast as lightning. He was like a meteorite flying past. Qin Fun immediately changed his direction. The black dragon mecha on his abdomen opened, and a huge black tracking missile shot into the sky. Rumble! A loud explosion rang out, and the red-headed old man's expression changed. However, it was already too late for him to dodge. His entire body collided with the tracking missile, and the shocking commotion caused everyone to stop what they were doing. They looked at the exploding clouds in the sky with horrified expressions. The red-headed monster is dead. Was that just now? It feels like it has the power to destroy heaven and earth. That was a level 4 demon general expert, and he was killed by Qin Feng. Since when did the orthodox martial cultivation have such a powerful leader? The fiend race disciples were shocked by the scene in front of them. Some of them even wanted to run away. Demon Lord and the other two also had a face full of fear. They quickly looked towards a direction a few hundred meters away. There was a huge sinkhole on the ground. The red-headed old man was lying in the sinkhole. The flames on his body haven't completely extinguished. He was motionless, and no one knows whether he was dead or alive. Xiao, xiao, xiao. But at this moment, 3 more black tracking missiles appeared in the sky. Qin Feng was completely enraged. He was wearing the black dragon mecha and the starry sky flying sword. He looked like a god of war that descended from the sky. The fiend race disciples were all in a mess. Under the fierce attack of the missiles, they began to flee in all directions. Demon Lord and the other two were too busy to stop the fiend race disciples. The 3 tracking missiles flew towards Demon Lord and the other two. Sword Demon Great Venerable was still standing in the same place. Seeing the missiles falling from the sky like meteorites, he quickly used his telekinesis power. More than a dozen swords made of demonic chi floated around his body. The sword chi was like a substance. More than a dozen swords flew towards the sky. They wanted to block the tracking missiles. However, the power of the missiles was amazing. When they hit the dozen swords, the sword chi instantly dissipated. Boom! The second tracking missile fell to the ground, and a huge sinkhole appeared in the ground. Sword Demon Great Venerable realized that the situation was not good, but it was too late to dodge. His whole body was blown up into the sky. He was like a kite with a broken string. The representatives of the 5 major sects of the fiend race had suffered heavy casualties. At this moment, only Demon Lord and the Star Moon sect leader were still struggling. Although the two were not hit by the missiles, they were beaten up by the tracking missiles. The fiend race is finished. Everyone, run, the crowd screamed continuously. The fiend race disciples saw the situation in front of them, and their hearts were filled with despair. Even the 5 major sects of the fiend race couldn't take down Qin Feng. This fact shocked everyone. When Qin Feng fought against Hua Xiao at the Nerwo assassin group's base, he deeply experienced the power of the white feather mecha. Especially the tracking missiles, Qin Feng was caught off guard. Now that he was wearing the black dragon mecha, Qin Feng felt refreshed. Qin Feng, I advise you to quickly surrender. Otherwise, I will die with you today. Demon Lord's black armor was broken, and his eyes were full of blood. At this moment, he was like a stray dog, but he still had the confidence to threaten Qin Feng. You want to perish together with me? Let me send you on your way first. Qin Feng roared angrily. The black dragon mecha's abdomen opened again, and another 2 tracking missiles flew out, heading towards Demon Lord and the Star Moon sect leader. After devouring the Hedonist sovereign mecha system, Qin Feng's Hedonist sovereign system had an additional mecha interface, which was similar to the Star Technology interface. The Black Dragon mecha's tracking missiles were not free and endless. Each missile cost 10,000 Hedonist points. 4 tracking missiles cost Qin Feng 40,000 Hedonist points, but the effect of the missiles was definitely worth the price. They forced the 2 Stage 4 demon general powerhouses to flee all over the valley. Qin Feng, since you don't want to live anymore, I'll fulfill your wish. Demon Lord was forced into a corner. He suddenly stopped and stood on top of a mountain. 2 black missiles flew towards him. Demon Lord raised his palms in the air, and nearly 100 lightning balls appeared in the air, forming a dense barrier like a lightning net above his head. Boom! The tracking missiles smashed into the lightning net, piercing through it. The explosion of air currents and the collision of electric currents dazzled half of the mountain. Demon Lord retreated immediately after slapping the lightning balls. The tall mountain under his feet suddenly collapsed, and gravel flew everywhere. It was a scene of a landslide. Demon King, Demon Lord, are you all right? The Star Moon sect leader turned into a white light and pulled Demon Lord out of a pile of gravel. Although Demon Lord escaped the center of the explosion, he was still hit by the aftershock. His clothes were tattered, and his body was covered with wounds. There are 2 more tracking missiles. Let's go. Demon Lord stopped for less than 2 seconds, and the 2 black shadows in the sky quickly approached them. The Star Moon sect leader frowned. Even she, the demon race's holy maiden, was helpless against the tracking missiles. The 2 of them turned into 2 streaks of light and moved quickly. 1 black and 1 white flashed in the air. The tracking missiles behind them seemed to have grown eyes, and they followed closely behind them like shadows. They couldn't get rid of them no matter what. What the hell is this thing? Isn't that guy a martial cultivator? How did he get such a powerful technology? The Star Moon sect leader's face turned pale. She looked at Qin Fun from time to time, as if she couldn't wait to kill Qin Fun with her sword. But the tracking missiles were chasing after them, so there was no chance for her to escape. Demon Lord suffered some injuries, but at this moment, he supported his body and moved quickly. He looked at the tracking missiles behind him and shouted with a cold face, "Star Moon sect leader, let's attack together. We must kill Qin Fun." Demon Lord was a generation's demon king, and the Star Moon sect leader was a generation's holy maiden. The 2 of them had a relationship like husband and wife, and often practiced together. Any one of them could dominate the Devil Clan, but when they joined forces, their strength was several times stronger. However, in the past, no one in the Devil Clan could force Chong Lu and the Star Moon sect leader to join forces. Today, they were forced into a dead end by Qin Fun. Ice Soul Divine Sword. As soon as Demon Lord's voice fell, the Star Moon sect leader swung her sword behind her. Suddenly, more than a dozen ice dragons appeared, but they didn't directly rush toward the 2 tracking missiles. Instead, they swallowed each other. The original dozens of ice dragons finally merged into a huge dragon. It was 100 meters long and 7 or 8 meters wide. It was roaring in the void, as if a real dragon had descended to the world. Bang, bang. But this time, Demon Lord also stopped and hit the huge ice dragon with his palm. Over 100 lightning balls flew into the ice dragon's body, but they didn't explode the ice dragon. Instead, they fused with the ice dragon's body, forming a dragon bone made of lightning, making the 100-meter-long dragon look extremely lifelike. Roar! The lightning dragon quickly formed, and its roar was like the thunder in the sky. The weather changed along with the wind and clouds. The ice dragon's body flashed with azure light, and its eyes were formed by lightning balls. Terrifying lightning bolts shot out from its body as it flew toward Qin Fun at high speed. The 2 tracking missiles landed on the top of the lightning dragon's head, but the huge explosion didn't destroy the lightning dragon. The dragon roared in the sky as if it had a life of its own. Its 100 meters long body swayed in the air, and the wind howled. The destructive power of the lightning dragon shocked everyone. Even Qin Fun was stunned by the lightning dragon. It was like a real dragon that had awakened. Huayan, Su Ruoro, and the others cried out worriedly. Qin Fun stepped on his golden whirlwind wheels and dodged the attacks. The black dragon mecha kept firing black laser bullets and true energy bullets at him. Qin Fun even spent 50,000 hedonist points to purchase 5 tracking missiles. However, the lightning dragon was still as agile as ever. It was about to crash into Qin Fun. Swoosh. The golden phoenix descended and drew a 100 meters long golden sword chi in the void. The sword chi instantly condensed and turned into a golden phoenix. Chapter 1252. Bang, 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 bang. 5 homing shells all landed on the Thunder Dragon's body, and countless Shun Chi bullets and laser bullets rained down on it. The golden phoenix's light became dimmer and dimmer, but the Thunder Dragon was still roaring in the sky. Its blue body made of ice seemed indestructible. The violent explosion sent Qin Fun flying, and he spat out a few mouthfuls of blood in the air. Everyone was shocked by this fierce battle, and they still hadn't recovered their senses. Qinfeng, are you all right? Su Ruo, Ro, and Hua Yin were so scared that tears welled up in their eyes. Just as the two women were about to rush to where Qinfeng had landed, they discovered that he had already soared into the sky while stepping on two balls of fire. The 100-meter-long lightning dragon followed Qin from like a shadow. The wind cloud demon cannon and the black dragon mecha's laser bullets had little effect on it. They could only slow down the lightning dragon slightly, but they were unable to pierce through it. The situation had changed once again. Previously, Qin Fen used the homing shells to force Zhong Lu and the Star Moon sect's leader into a corner. Now, the homing shells were no longer effective, and Qin Fen was being chased by Lei Long. The dragon's roar was like thunder, and every roar was accompanied by the power of the heavens and earth, causing the surrounding air to explode. Qin Fen was also injured by the explosive air currents. Zhong Lu and the Star Moon sect's leader stood on the plain and didn't make a move. Judging from their pale faces, the fusion of this thunder dragon had consumed most of their devil energy. Rumble. A huge explosion suddenly sounded out from Qin Feng's body, and he carried a fiery red cannon on his shoulder. What's that? Demon Lord and the Star Moon sect leader's expression changed as they looked at Qin Fen vigilantly. The fire cloud cannon was incomparably huge, and there was a domineering long dragon engraved on its body. The mouth of the dragon was the cannon. Whether it was the wind cloud mad demon cannon or the black dragon mecha's laser bullets, they were both weapons with a large area of effect. Although they were very powerful, they were not as powerful as the fire cloud cannon. Even the tracking missiles fired by the black dragon mecha could not compare. As soon as the fire cloud cannon appeared, Qin Feng bought a fire cloud rock without hesitation and spent 50,000 hedonist points. He aimed the cannon, which was as big as a human's waist, at the lightning dragon behind him and fired 5 consecutive shots. Rumble. Rumble. The 5 fire cloud cannons soared into the sky like 5 fire dragons. The sky above Qin Feng's head seemed to be on fire. The berserk aura of the cannonball was enough to destroy heaven and earth. The surging sea of fire instantly engulfed the lightning dragon, and a series of roars came from within the flames. Qin Fen turned into a white shadow and disappeared within the violent explosion. Everyone on the plains was stunned and looked at the strange scene in the sky in disbelief. The fire cloud cannon finally shattered the thunder dragon. The 100-meter-long thunder dragon exploded into ice shards, and the lightning ball inside exploded again. It was as if it wanted to blast open a crack in the sky. Icicles and flames fell like rain, forming a strange scene of ice and fire. However, the crowd was completely in an uproar. They covered their heads and scurried away, no longer in the mood to enjoy this strange scene. How is this possible? He actually broke through our joint attack? The Star Moon Hierarch was still in a daze, allowing the flames and ice to smash onto her delicate body. Demon Lord was also confused. This Demon King was really shocked by Qin Fen's strength. He is not only a martial arts master, but also has advanced technology. With today's technology, what kind of product can defeat our fused Thunder Dragon? Demon Lord muttered to himself. The two of them racked their brains, but still couldn't understand. They didn't know what kind of product Qin Fen was wearing, and they didn't know why the fire cloud cannon on his shoulder was so powerful. Swish! A white shadow flashed, and Qin Fen was already standing behind the two of them. The muzzle of the fire cloud cannon was pointed at Demon Lord and the Star Moon Hierarch. Qin Fen, what are you doing? The arrogant Star Moon Hierarch panicked for the first time. Demon Lord's body was also slightly trembling, but he pretended to be calm and said, "You can't kill us. It is a declaration of war against the entire demon race. Since the beginning of the martial arts world in China, the righteous and demon factions have been established. During this period, although there were constant battles, they were just small skirmishes. Once you kill me and the Star Moon Hierarch, the righteous and demon factions will be completely incompatible. When the war starts, there will be countless casualties. I believe you also don't want to see that scene, right?" Demon Lord looked at the problem far enough. He understood Qin Fun's concerns, but he thought too highly of himself. So what if he was a demon king? The saintess was even more indifferent. When the real crisis came, saving her life was the most important thing. Bang! A loud explosion sounded. In the eyes of Demon Lord and the Star Moon Hierarch, a fire cloud cannon hit the two of them at the same time. Under such a close-range attack, the two of them did not even have time to prepare. In an instant, they were knocked into the sky and exploded into pieces of flesh and blood. The empty plain suddenly fell into a dead silence, and only the continuous sound of the explosion could be heard. The group of demon disciples no longer ran for their lives. They stood in the same place as if their souls were taken away. Looking at the dead demon king and saintess, they always felt like they were in a dream. The demon king and saintess of a generation, two powerful fourth-level demon generals, died so easily. This was definitely a subversive blow to the demon race. Unless they invited those old demons who have been hiding for nearly 100 years, who else could stop Qin Fun? Do you still want to resist? Qin Fun killed Demon Lord and the Star Moon Hierarch, but he did not even look at the sky. His cold eyes swept across the crowd, scaring the demon disciples into bowing their heads. Walala! Clanging sounds of weapons being thrown rang out on the plain. Sticks, blades, and swords were scattered on the ground. Hundreds of demon elites were completely shocked by Qin Fun's power. Now, even the Demon King and the Star Moon Holy Girl were dead, and the representatives of the other three sects were seriously injured. Who would dare to go against Qin Fun? According to the rules of the Demon Race Convention, I have reached the peak of the martial gathering today. In the future, I will be the existence of the demon race's king. You dared to ally with the traitors of the demon race to kill me. Do you repent? Qin Fun's voice was as loud as a bell, clearly transmitted to the ears of every demon disciple. Everyone already knew Qin Fun's identity as the leader of the martial arts world. A righteous martial cultivator was elected as the demon race's king. This was the first time in the thousands of years since the establishment of the demon race. It was ridiculous to think about it. However, no one could laugh. The group of demon disciples had bitter expressions as if someone had died in their family. They had no choice but to accept this fact. Otherwise, only death awaited them. Light Tower's Elder Black Star greets Demon King Qin Fun. In the future, I am willing to serve the Demon King without any hesitation. After a brief silence, shouts came from the crowd. Many sect disciples looked toward Elder Black Star of the Light Tower, their eyes filled with helplessness. Flying Fox, Snow Mountain greets Demon King Qin Fun. Ancient Demon Sword greets Demon King Qin Fun. Void Soul Palace's Soul Lock Master and Soul Snatch sect leader have betrayed the demon race. Demon King Qin Fun, please punish them. More and more demon disciples knelt in front of Qin Fun. When the 5 demon sects all surrendered, the disciples of nearly 100 sects on the plain all surrendered. Qin Fun stood in the middle of the crowd. The spectacular scene made Su Ruo Ro and Hua Yin unable to come back to their senses. Qin Fun, you're so amazing. I've almost been charmed to death by you. He suddenly heard a voice that was neither male nor female, acting coquettishly. It scared Qin Fun so much that he almost kicked Li Tao away. He threw Li Tao's arm away, and his expression was colder than ice. Are you crazy? Get out of my way. Li Tao pouted and looked at Qin Fun with an aggrieved expression. Young Master Qin, don't be so fierce. I'll listen to you. Qin Fun rolled his eyes and resisted the urge to slap Li Tao to death. The kneeling demon disciples were disgusted. They stole glances at Li Tao from time to time and shook their heads and sighed. Hua Yin and Su Ruo Ro finally came back to their senses. Seeing Li Tao acting coquettishly again, Hua Yin quickly ran over. Li Tao, I'm warning you. Stay away from Qin Fun in the future. Otherwise, I'll cut off our relationship as sisters. Su Ruo Ro stared at Li Tao seriously and said, Hua Yin is right. If you dare to have any ideas about Qin Fun, we'll cut off our relationship as sisters. Li Tao pouted and twisted his waist. Qianfen was so scared that he did not dare to speak. He looked at Su Ruoro and Hua Yin, then at Li Tao. Since when did these three become sisters? This world was too fucking crazy. With the death of Zhong Lu and the Star Moon sex leader, Qianfen completely dominated the demon race. However, Qianfen was not interested in the title of Demon King. He came to the demon race's sacred land to save Lu Yu. Now that he had saved Lu Yu, Qianfen did not stay in the demon race's sacred land for long and left with everyone. Once Qianfen left, all the demon sects were dumbfounded. Everyone thought that Qianfen killed the Demon King and the Holy Maiden to dominate the demon race. He might even make the demon race the slaves of the righteous martial cultivators and suppress the demon race until they could never rise again. In the end, Qianfen fought with the representatives of the 5 major demon sects and caused such a huge commotion and an earth-shattering battle of life and death. In the end, he took Hua Yin and the others and left without saying a word, as if nothing had happened. Not only were the demon sects speechless, even Hua Yin and the others felt it was funny when they recalled Qianfen's actions. Especially after Lu Yu knew the reason. She didn't know what to say to Qianfen. This son-in-law was really fierce. In order to save her, he killed his way into the demon race's sacred land, captured the Demon King, and fought against the demon sections. This was unprecedented. After leaving the demon race's sacred land, the 5 of them rushed all the way to the hero city of the outer martial world. It was the first time for Hua Yin, Lu Yu, and Li Tao to come here, and they were shocked by the magnificent construction of the hero city. Hua Yin was especially excited when she entered the hero city. It was built exactly the same as the hero city of Acropolis City. If it weren't for the fact that she was unfamiliar with the people here, she would have thought that she had returned to Acropolis City. "Master, you're back. Old lover, are you okay?" Xiao Li and Qian Huanchild rushed over as soon as Qianfen entered the hero city. Although Qianfen seemed to be fine, the 2 women were still very worried. "Wow, so there are a few good sisters here. Hello, my name is Li Tao. From now on, we're a family." When Li Tao saw the 2 women, he took the initiative to greet them. He held Xiao Li's arm and chatted with Qian Huanchild like sisters. Xiao Li was so scared that her face turned pale. She froze on the ground and forgot to move. Qian Huanchild's expression turned cold, and he directly slapped Li Tao away. "Bastard, Xiao Li and I are Alliance Master Qian's women. How dare you touch us?" Chapter 1253. Bang! There was a muffled sound. Li Tao was sent flying into a building a dozen meters away, along with a row of houses. The martial artists surrounding them were all dumbfounded. They nervously stood to the side, not daring to speak. Dust rose from the ruins of the building. Li Tao was crushed under a rock, and no one knew if he was dead or alive. Hua Yin and Su Ruoro's beautiful eyes widened. They were shocked by Elder Qian Huanchild's strength. Hua Yin unconsciously hid behind Qianfen. She could see that she was no match for Elder Qian Huanchild. Would this old woman kill her as well? "You old woman, who told you to do this?" "Xiao Li, go and find Li Tao. He's your good sister." Qianfeng's words woke everyone up. Xiao Li was stunned and didn't move. Elder Qian Huanchild's mouth was wide open, and his eyes were about to pop out. All the elders of the martial arts sects gathered here. Everyone came forward. Wen Yiming was also confused. He couldn't help but ask, "Brother Qianfen, that was a man, right?" Qianfen blushed. He didn't know how to explain Li Tao's existence. This guy was neither a man nor a woman. It was really a headache. Ahem, let me introduce him to everyone. Li Tao is indeed a man. However, because he cultivated some special skills, his personality changed greatly. Anyway, just ignore him. After this battle with the demons, Qianfen was saved by Li Tao. He planned to let Li Tao stay in this hero city outside of the martial arts world to help him develop his forces. With an expert like Li Tao overseeing things, Qianfen felt more at ease. Everyone still didn't understand Li Tao's situation. All of them stared at each other in confusion. At this time, Xiao Li walked back with Li Tao. That palm strike from Thousand Illusion Child was indeed powerful. It broke Li Tao's sternum. Master. Xiaoli looked at Qin Feng with a wronged expression. She couldn't understand why Master wanted her to be Li Tao's sister. Could it be that Master had too many women around him and didn't like her? Qin Feng looked at the half-dead Li Tao. This guy's life was as tenacious as a cockroach. He didn't die even after being beaten like this. Qin Feng admired him. Xiaoli, take Li Tao to rest. Give him some healing medicine and find someone to take care of him, Qin Feng said to Xiaoli. The corner of Xiaoli's mouth curled up. She was a little depressed as she prepared to leave. However, Li Tao weakly smiled at Thousand Illusion Child and said, Big sister, your strength is not bad. When I recover, I will spar with you again. I will go easy on you. Thousand Illusion Child had been standing to the side with a cold expression after slapping people. Now that Li Tao had taken the initiative to cause trouble, she was so angry that she raised her jade-like hand to slap him again. Li Tao still had a sweet smile on his face and did not seem to be afraid of death at all. Qin Feng hurriedly grabbed Elder Thousand Illusion Child and kicked Li Tao away. Xiaoli, quickly take that idiot away. Li Tao was finally taken away. The martial arts heroes surrounding them had a strange look on their faces. They finally realized that there was something wrong with Li Tao. Why was this guy acting like a woman? The atmosphere became a little awkward. Those martial arts heroes stared at Qin Feng with strange expressions. No one dared to say anything. Qin Feng felt goosebumps all over his body. He cleared his throat, pretended to be calm, and said, Why is everyone gathered here? Don't you need to cultivate? Everyone abruptly came to their senses, and one or two pretended to disperse. When Yiming walked over and asked worriedly, Brother Qin Feng, I heard from Xiaoli that you went to the demon race's holy land. Did something happen? The crowd that had just dispersed immediately gathered back. Everyone had been worried about Qin Feng these past few days. If Qin Feng did not return in a few days, these martial arts heroes planned to kill their way to the demon race's holy land. Without needing Qin Feng to speak, Hua Yin yelled excitedly. How could something have happened to my darling? You guys still don't know. He killed everyone in the demon race convention and became this generation's king of the demon race. Ruoro and I were even conferred the title of demon race's saintess. In the end, Demon King Zhong Lu joined forces with the experts of the four great demon sects to kill Qin Feng, but they were all killed by Qin Feng. Hua Yin said everything as soon as she opened her mouth. There was so much information in her words that all the heroes in the martial arts world were dumbfounded. When Yiming was stunned for a long time before coming to his senses. He recognized Hua Yin and looked at her with an excited expression. Hua Yin's good friend, is what you said true? Does this mean that Brother Qin Feng has unified the righteous and demonic sects? Hua Yin smiled brightly at Wen Yiming and patted her towering chest heroically. Brother Wen, why would I, Hua Yin, boast? Qin Feng is now the leader of the martial arts world and the king of the demon race. In the future, following him is the right thing to do. It was the first time for the martial arts people present to see Hua Yin, so they were more or less unable to believe her words. What she said was too shocking. Su Ruoro saw through everyone's thoughts. She looked at Qin Feng, and after getting his permission, she told everyone what had happened in the demon race's holy land. This time, the entire hero city was shocked. Everyone knew that Su Ruoro never lied, so Qin Feng really became the king of the demon race. The leader of the martial arts world became the king of the demon race. Why is this so fun? Since ancient times, righteous and demonic sects have been at odds with each other. I didn't think that the leader of the martial arts world would be unified by Qin Feng. This is simply unprecedented. What Qin Feng did this time defied common sense, and it was earth-shattering. It caused the crowd to exclaim repeatedly. Wen Yiming was also full of shock, but after the excitement passed, his expression became serious, and he pulled Qin Feng to the side. Brother Wen, what's the matter? Qin Feng saw through Wen Yiming's thoughts. Brother Qin Feng, this time you caused havoc in the demon race's holy land and killed Demon King Chong Lu and Star Moon Saintess. This is a major event for the demon race, and I'm afraid that it will attract a lot of trouble in the future, Qin Feng didn't know much about the demon race, so he asked doubtfully. The Demon King and Saintess were killed, and the top experts of the 5 demon sects couldn't do anything to me. Would they dare to secretly take revenge on me? Wen Yiming smiled bitterly and shook his head. Now, the demon race naturally doesn't dare to offend you. Even if they don't recognize you as the king of the demon race, you are still the leader of the martial arts world. The righteous and demonic sects are evenly matched, and if they really fight, it will be a war to the death. However, the demon race has been developing for hundreds of years, and during this period, countless experts have appeared. It is rumored that 100 years ago, the demon race gave birth to a Demon King realm expert, which is equivalent to the orthodox martial cultivation of the immortal Qi stage. However, the old monsters hidden in the demon race's holy land are not limited to that one person. No one knows how many Demon King realm experts there are, and there are even old Demon Kings of higher realms. If those old monsters come out of seclusion, then you will be in big trouble. Qin Feng became a monk after getting the Hedonist sovereign system more than a year ago. He knew very little about the sects and secret history of Huaxia, and even less about those real hidden experts. Not only did the demon race have hidden experts in seclusion, but there were also countless hidden experts in the righteous martial cultivation world. Although the outer martial arts world was already under Qin Feng's control, the inner and outer hidden sects were just the tip of the iceberg of Huaxia's martial cultivation world. The real experts and super sects were all hidden, and unless they came out of seclusion, no one could find their whereabouts. There are these kinds of Demon King experts. Then when I caused havoc in the demon race's holy land, why didn't I see those old monsters come out of seclusion? Qin Feng was extremely shocked. Wen Yiming shook his head with some uncertainty. That's hard to say. Actually, I heard the information about the hidden old monsters of the demon race from the sect leader. As for where my Snow Mountain sect leader got the information, I don't know, and I can't even determine whether the information is true or false. However, Huaxia's thousands of years of history must have given birth to many powerful experts. These experts only care about the Tao and don't care about worldly affairs. What is a mere demon race in the outer martial arts world to them? As long as the demon race isn't destroyed, I'm afraid they won't easily come out of seclusion. When Yiming said all that he had heard, and Qin Feng's black eyes flickered with uncertainty. So, there are real hidden experts in the righteous martial arts world? When Yiming couldn't confirm the information about the demon race, but when it came to the righteous martial arts world, his expression immediately became firm and respectful. There are definitely hidden experts in the righteous martial arts world, and I heard that they exist in the outer martial arts world. Qin Feng's expression changed, and he hurriedly said, Outer martial arts world? You mean the inner hidden sects? Of course, not the inner hidden sects. Actually, the inner hidden sects are also a part of the hidden experts, but they are the weakest branch. Although the inner hidden sects all have concealment formations, their disciples still have close contact with the secular world, which interferes with everyone's heart of cultivation. And in the outer martial arts world, other than the outer hidden sects and the inner hidden sects, it is rumored that there are also absolute sects. They're called absolute sects because they completely cut off contact with the secular world. There are no traces of these sects, and unless their disciples take the initiative to come out of seclusion to train, you won't be able to see them at all. When Yiming said a lot of important information, allowing Qin Feng to have a deeper understanding of the cultivation and factions of Huaxia. The reason why he stepped into the outer martial arts world and fought for the position of Alliance Master was all to find his mother's whereabouts. Qin Feng found out the location of his mother's sect from his grandfather, Qin Shitian. However, he asked all the major sects in the outer martial arts world, but he still couldn't find the whereabouts of the Thousand Shadows sect. It was as if the Thousand Shadows sect did not exist in the Huaxia martial arts world. Now that he heard Wen Yiming's words, Qin Feng immediately understood. Brother Wen, do you know which sects are in the absolute sects? Qin Feng looked at Wen Yiming with a hurried expression. I've only heard of the absolute sects, and I don't know how many sects there are in there. However, I heard someone mention the Thousand Shadows sect. It is said that 20 years ago, someone from that sect came out to train, and is also the most recent sect to come out of seclusion, when Yiming's words caused Qin Feng's expression to change greatly. His guess was right. The Thousand Shadows sect his mother belonged to was indeed one of the absolute sects. Brother one, my mother is in the Thousand Shadows sect. Help me find out about the Thousand Shadows sect. I want to know immediately. Chapter 1254. After when Yiming learned of the situation, he was astonished. So Qin Feng's mother was a disciple of the absolute sect, the Thousand Shadows sect. The entire outer martial world knew that Qin Feng was looking for his mother. After hearing this, the entire outer martial world mobilized to help Qin Feng find his mother. In the blink of an eye, 3 days had passed. No matter how hard they tried, they did not manage to obtain any detailed information about the Thousand Shadows sect. The Extinction sect was even more mysterious than the inner hidden sects. It was definitely a secluded sect that lived in seclusion. It would only appear once every 10 to 20 years if a disciple of the sect wanted to leave the mountain for training. Qin Feng stayed in Hero City in the outer martial world for the past few days, waiting for news. He didn't eat, drink, or sleep for 3 days and 3 nights. Hua Yin and Su Ruoro stayed in Hero City, and when they saw Qin Feng's sullen face, they felt depressed. Shaoli, did Qin Feng eat breakfast today? In the Immortal Ascension Cave in Hero City, Hua Yin and the other women were cultivating. Shaoli pouted and shook her head. This is the 4th day Master hasn't eaten. It can't go on like this. Sisters, quickly think of something. Hua Yin and Su Ruoro sat on one side, while Elder Thousand Illusion Child sat in the corner. The 4 women stared at each other, but no one could think of a solution. Everyone knew Qin Feng's personality. When he was stubborn, even 10 cows couldn't pull him back. Sister Ruoro, you're still a virgin? The atmosphere fell silent. Shaoli suddenly looked at Su Ruoro. Hua Yin, an Elder Thousand Illusion Child, also looked over. Su Ruoro blushed. She looked at Shaoli in confusion. She didn't understand why Shaoli was asking about this. Yes, what is it? Sister Ruoro is really a virgin? Why didn't you do it with Master? Shaoli suddenly became excited and looked at Su Ruoro with a gossipy expression. Even Hua Yin, an Elder Thousand Illusion Child, looked over curiously. The 2 women knew Qin Feng the best. That guy was too strong. How could he keep a woman like Su Ruoro by his side and not do it? This was not in line with Qin Feng's personality. She said in a voice as soft as a mosquito, I tried, but Qin Feng didn't agree. At that time, he saved me from serenity and said he wanted to build up our relationship again. It had dragged on until now. Hua Yin and the other 2 women came to a sudden realization. Shaoli's big eyes turned, and she suddenly smirked. Big Sister Roro, why don't you go and serve Master? Maybe Master will be in a better mood. Hua Yin and Qian Huantong immediately understood Xiao Li's intention. Both of them jumped up and said, that's right. Qin Feng loves sex the most. I'll go find him. Hey, you don't have to go. I'll go. You stay here and cultivate. Qian Huanchild quickly caught up with Hua Yin. He wanted to snatch the opportunity from her. Su Ruoro and Shaoli hadn't slept with Qin Feng, so they blushed when they saw Hua Yin and Thousand Illusion Child acting so boldly. At this moment, Li Tao ran in excitedly. He blocked Hua Yin and Thousand Illusion Child and yelled, Sisters, you're too weak. You should stay and cultivate. I'll go serve young Master Qin. Fuck your grandfather. The 4 women flew into a rage at the same time and sent Li Tao flying with 4 kicks. After taking care of Li Tao, Hua Yin and Thousand Illusion Child glared at each other angrily. Hua Yin yelled, Who are you? Why do you have to go? Qin Feng likes young and beautiful women. How old are you? Thousand Illusion Child wasn't someone to be trifled with. He wasn't afraid of Hua Yan's overbearing aura. He squeezed his chest and said, Who cares how old I am? My skin is smooth and my figure's super good. You didn't see Qin Feng do that with me. He likes me. Hua Yin and Thousand Illusion Child became bolder and bolder as they spoke. Su Ruo wanted to dig a hole in the ground and hide. Xiao Li's heart raced. The scene of Qin Feng suppressing Thousand Illusion Child at the Chuan Central Restaurant appeared in her mind. It was too exciting. Stop fighting. I think it's better to let big sister Ruo go. The effect will be better. Seeing that Hua Yin and Elder Qianhuan were about to fight, Xiao Li hurriedly went to stop them. The two of them finally calmed down and quickly understood Xiao Li's intention. Su Ruo was still a virgin, and she was also a woman that Qin Feng had known for a long time. If she went to serve Qin Feng now, it would indeed be twice the result with half the effort. The three women all looked at Su Ruo. Su Ruo was so embarrassed that she didn't know what to do. Xiao Li, you're also a virgin, right? Why don't you go? Su Ruo wasn't ready. She didn't even know how to serve Qin Feng. Xiao Li's charming face blushed. She was looking forward to having sex with her master, but she felt that her master's feelings for her were lacking. In short, he wasn't as intimate as he was with Hua Yin and Su Ruo. Forget about me. I'm only master's servant. Big sister Ruo should go. You definitely don't want to see master disappointed again. Su Ruo was instantly in a dilemma. She hesitated for a moment before saying, but I don't know how to. Hua Yin immediately jumped out. She excitedly hugged Su Ruo's arm and said with a smile, why not? I don't have anyone to teach me my first time. It's actually very simple. I'll teach you. Hua Yin said as she started to take off Su Ruo's clothes. Su Ruo was so frightened that she screamed, Hua Yin, don't do anything rash. Thousand Illusion Child helplessly rolled his eyes. He went up to help Hua Yin hold Su Ruo down. Why are you so shy? We're all women. It's not like I'll eat you up. Xiao Li watched as Hua Yin and Thousand Illusion Child worked together to strip Su Ruo naked. She felt that it was very cruel, but she didn't step up to help Su Ruo. The cave had long been occupied by the four women, and no one dared to enter. Su Ruo stood naked under the rock wall and shyly covered her body with her hands. Hua Yin curled her lips and complained, Ruo, you can't be so shy. That bastard likes to be wild. You have to stick out your chest and show him your charms. Su Ruo was completely naked. Su Ruo was like a little white rabbit that fell into a wolf's den. She nervously looked at Hua Yin and Thousand Illusion Child. I won't do that. Why don't you two go instead? Thousand Illusion Child leaped in front of Su Ruo. He directly grabbed Su Ruo's hands behind her back and lifted her up. What's there to be afraid of? TSK. I really couldn't tell that you're such a good girl. Xiao Li was dumbstruck. Hua Yin pulled up her collar and glanced at her own. Then, she looked at Su Ruo and said, they're about the same as mine. Qin Feng will definitely like them. Su Ruo's face and ears were already red. She discovered that Hua Yin and Thousand Illusion Child were too bold. They dared to say anything. It was truly embarrassing. However, Thousand Illusion Child was still not satisfied. He kicked Su Ruo's leg away. You're a genius in cultivation, but why aren't you enlightened in this area? When you go to find Qin Feng later, you have to separate your legs. Otherwise, what's going to happen to Qin Feng? Hua Yin was still arguing with Thousand Illusion Child, but now, she was on the same team. That's right, you have to take the initiative. Don't shrink your body. That won't do. Su Ruo was forced to undergo special training by Hua Yin and Thousand Illusion Child. After the training ended, she felt like her entire body was about to burn. Hua Yin glanced at Su Ruo. She was still not satisfied with her. She pulled her clothes off. Hua Yin, what are you doing? Su Ruo's little heart was about to jump out of her throat as she watched Hua Yin walk toward her. Ruo, don't be afraid. I'll teach you a few tricks. I'm sure you'll be able to capture Qin Feng's heart. Hua Yin smiled evilly and suddenly hugged Su Ruo. She even moved Su Ruo's body and made some movements. Su Ruo was so frightened that she almost cried. Hua, I'm not playing anymore. Please spare me. Su Ruo began to beg for mercy. Su Ruo began to beg for mercy. She felt that Hua Yin and Thousand Illusion Child were too crazy and that she needed to stay away from these two women in the future. Hua Yin was having a lot of fun. She even patted Su Ruo's body and said that Qin Feng loved to do this. The cave was filled with boundless spring scenery. Su Ruo's begging voice could be heard from time to time. Qin Feng had not been able to find his mother for the past 3 days. He was depressed and wanted to find the girls to relieve his boredom. However, he could not find them after searching all over Hero City. Now that Qin Feng had entered the Immortal Ascension Cave, this was the only place he had not searched. Huayan, what are you doing? Qin Feng was stunned by the scene in front of him as soon as he entered the cave. Huayan was pressing down on Su Ruo and doing something to her. Su Ruo was so frightened that she burst into tears. The cave was suddenly silent, and the atmosphere was extremely strange. The 4 girls looked at Qin Feng at the entrance of the cave with different expressions. Su Ruo finally saw her savior. She hurriedly cried, Wah! Qin Feng, save me. They are bullying me. Qin Feng was so angry that he rushed up to Huayan and hugged her. He patted her body a few times and said, Huayan, what are you doing? I think you need to be taught a lesson. Xiao Li and Thousand Illusion Child were so frightened that they retreated to the side. They did not dare to speak. Huayan struggled out of Qin Feng's embrace. She didn't care about her exposed spring scenery. She punched Qin Feng's chest and yelled, Why are you yelling at me? I'm teaching Ruo to serve you. You should be thanking me. Qin Feng's expression froze. He was instantly rendered speechless by Huayan. Qin Feng's heart softened when he saw the red fingerprints on Huayan's snow-white skin. He hugged her and caressed her. Don't mess around with this kind of thing. Does it hurt? Qin Feng did not hold back, so Huayan did not feel any pain. She secretly gave Su Ruo a look. Then, she pretended to be angry and pushed Qin Feng away. She picked up the Qi Pao on the ground and walked out. It hurts. I don't want to talk to you anymore. Let's go and ignore Qin Feng. Huayan pulled Thousand Illusion Child and Xiao Li and ran out. The 2 girls understood what she meant. Before they left, they turned around and gave Su Ruo a look. Su Ruo was so embarrassed that she was at a loss of what to do. Only Qin Feng and Su Ruo were left in the cave. Su Ruo was still standing by the wall naked. Her body was red and white because of Huayan's pinching. Qin Feng swallowed his saliva. Chapter 1255. Su Ruo blushed. Her mind was filled with the bold and unrestrained thoughts that Huayan and Thousand Illusion Child had always instilled in her. She stole a glance at Qin Feng and saw the fire burning in his eyes. Su Ruo gritted her teeth and threw herself into Qin Feng's arms. Ruo. Before Qin Feng could finish, Su Ruo stood on her tiptoes and kissed him on the lips. That's enough. I made up my mind. A wave of softness rippled in his arms. Qin Feng no longer suppressed the fire in his stomach, and the cave began to sway. After some time, the commotion died down. Qin Feng held Su Ruo in his arms lovingly and helped her comb her loose hair. Su Ruo was like a little deer in Qin Feng's arms. She hugged his neck tightly and refused to let go. From now on, she had officially become Qin Feng's woman. There was an indescribable excitement in her heart. Qin Feng was infatuated with Su Ruo. He spent every day with her in the cave. Not only did they have fun together, but they also cultivated together. With Qin Feng's help, Su Ruo advanced to the middle stage of Stage 9 Inner Qi in just a few days. Her strength was comparable to a Stage 9 Inner Qi expert. Qin Feng stayed in Hero City for a week, but there was still no news from the Thousand Shadows sect. His hope was gradually extinguished, and he was somewhat disappointed. Suddenly, he received a call from Yin Wushuang. Qin Feng, where are you? Yin Wushuang's anxious voice came from the other side of the phone. Qin Feng raised his brows and said, I'm out in the martial arts world. Did something happen? Something happened on the island. The leaders of the 12 Peaks of the Dragon sect asked me to call you back. Yin Wushuang went straight to the point. Qin Feng thought that something had happened in Acropolis City or the provincial capital. Is it serious? Qin Feng asked. It's very serious. Almost all the 9 dragons and 5 tigers of China went to the island, and they suffered heavy casualties. The dragon god also went there a few days ago, and he seems to be at his limit, Yin Wushuang said quickly. Qin Feng was looking for his mother's whereabouts, so he did not want to care about other things. This time, the leaders of the 12 Peaks of the Dragon sect did not call him back personally. Instead, they asked Yin Wushuang because they were afraid that Qin Feng would not come back. All right, I'll go to the Dragon sect base to look for you. Qin Feng quickly agreed. He had no idea what had happened on the island, so he rushed back because of Yin Wushuang. Yin Wushuang was an intelligent woman. She knew what the leaders of the Dragon sect and Qin Feng were thinking. She suddenly said in a soft voice, Qin Feng, thank you. However, she heard Qin Feng's evil laughter through the phone. If you want to thank me, then show me your actions. I won't accept verbal thanks. Yin Wushuang suddenly recalled what happened between her and Qin Feng after she was injured in the Verdengate's base. Qin Feng had treated her with acupuncture, and the two of them had naturally become one. Yin Wushuang was so embarrassed that her face turned red. You're so annoying. I'm hanging up. Come back quickly. We can talk about other things when we meet. Yin Wushuang hung up the phone and sat in her office in a daze, thinking about Qin Feng. The scenes of her and Qin Feng replayed in her mind like a movie. The two of them knew each other and fell in love with each other. In the beginning, Yin Wushuang wanted to kill Qin Feng because he killed her fiancée, Wei Xiaolei. Later, Qin Feng and Yin Wushuang completed all kinds of difficult missions in the Dragon sect. They sabotaged the William family's superpower experiment plan in the U.S. and found out that the Wei family and the Yamaguchi-gumi were laundering money in Hong Kong. In these dangerous missions, the two of them had a tacit understanding. Qin Feng saved Yin Wushuang's life several times and gradually won her heart. Knowing that Qin Feng was rushing back to the Dragon Sect's base and would probably see him this afternoon, Yin Wushuang was very excited. Wushuang, what are you thinking about sitting here alone? While Yin Wushuang was lost in her thoughts, she was suddenly hugged by a strong arm from behind. The man was strong and powerful. His hand was still groping her chest unscrupulously. Yin Wushuang was so scared that she jumped up. Qin Feng, why are you back? Are you in the provincial capital? Yin Wushuang was shocked when she saw the man. She had just called Qin Feng not long ago. At that time, Qin Feng said he was in the martial arts world. Less than 10 minutes later, Qin Feng was standing in front of her. Yin Wushuang could not believe it. As usual, Yin Wushuang was wearing a tight black leather shirt and pants, which vividly outlined her curvaceous body. Qin Feng's heart was on fire when he saw her. He hugged Yin Wushuang tightly and groped her body. Don't touch me. Someone might see it. Yin Wushuang was shy. If the members of the Dragon sect saw her like a little girl, they would definitely be shocked. Qin Feng knew that Yin Wushuang was shy and conservative, so he did not tease her. He pulled Yin Wushuang to sit on a chair and said, "Oh right, Wushuang, why did you call me back in such a hurry?" Qin Feng used the system's space-time door to travel back. That was why he returned so quickly. Yin Wushuang still could not accept it. She felt that Qin Feng was in the Dragon Sect's base all along. Qin Feng, there's a battle on the island. The situation is very critical now. When it came to business, Yin Wushuang forgot about Qin Feng's sudden appearance. She wore a nervous and solemn expression. Qin Feng hugged Yin Wushuang's slender waist and stroked her hair lovingly. He said, "Don't worry. What kind of place is this island? I've never heard of it before." Yin Wushuang calmed down a little. She quickly explained to Qin Feng, "This island was discovered a month ago. It's located at the border between Huaxia and Japan. According to the map, this island belongs to Huaxia. However, the Japanese are unreasonable. They insisted that the island belongs to them. Half a month ago, the Huaxia diplomat and the Japanese officials had a dispute over the island. In a fit of rage, the Japanese mistakenly killed one of the diplomats. This instantly infuriated the Huaxia officials. Now, the armed forces of the two countries have gathered on the island. They're ready to fight at any time." Qin Feng listened with a serious face. He did not expect the island to be so serious. How dare a small Japanese country behave atrociously on the land of Huaxia? Just ask Huaxia to send the army to annihilate them. Qin Feng's status was high. His words and actions could decide the fate of the secular world and the martial arts world. Therefore, he was confident that he would annihilate the other party. Yan Wushuang agreed with Qin Feng's idea. That Japanese country was detestable. It was fine if they were annihilated. However, the current society was different from the past. How could they mobilize a large number of armed forces to wage a war? Whenever a country was in danger, they would ask for help from the mysterious forces of each country. And the mysterious force of Huaxia was the dragon sect. Qin Feng, this is a serious matter. We can't wage a war. Huaxia will send the dragon sect to deal with Japan, Yan Wushuang said. Although Qin Feng was a member of the dragon sect and the green dragon of Huaxia, he did not stay in the dragon sect for long. His understanding of the dragon sect was even worse than the ordinary members of the Huang group. If Huaxia doesn't send the army, why would they send the dragon sect? How are we going to fight them? Qin Feng was frustrated. Yan Wushuang quickly explained, nowadays, the big countries rarely use their armed forces to wage a war. That will only cause great damage to both sides. Moreover, modern technology is so powerful that a missile can cause large-scale damage and death. That's the last resort. Now that the countries are in danger, they will send out mysterious forces. These mysterious forces will fight against each other to determine the winner. Qin Feng understood. He did not have to ask to know that the mysterious force of Huaxia was the dragon sect. He frowned and said, "Who is the mysterious force sent by Japan?" Yan Wushuang frowned and said solemnly, "Japan has sent experts from the Yamaguchi-gumi and a group of powerful ninjas." Qin Feng's pupils contracted when he heard the ninjas. He recalled that Miss Chiyoya, the heavenly ninja, had appeared when he and Yan Wushuang were on a money-laundering mission in Hong Kong. At that time, Qin Feng chased after Chiyoya and raped her. However, the woman escaped in the end. Yamaguchi-gumi and ninjas? How powerful can they be? The dragon sect has a lot of experts, and even the 9 dragons and 5 tigers are there. Can't they suppress this group of rookies? Qin Feng was puzzled. Yan Wushuang sighed and said, if it were an ordinary ninja, they would not have suppressed the Dragon Gate. But this time, the government of Japan has made up their mind. They even sent the 6 great ninjas of Japan. These 6 people represent the strongest force of Japan. According to the news from the 9 dragons and 5 tigers, the 6 great ninjas are as strong as the true Qi stage. Their strength is beyond imagination. Qin Feng raised his eyebrows slightly. The last time he met Miss Chiyoya, he had some understanding of the division of ninjas in Japan. Ninjas were divided into 6 levels: God Ninja, Heaven Ninja, Earth Ninja, Jounin, Middle Ninja, and Lower Ninja. The difference in strength between these 6 ranks was huge. Miss Chiyoya seemed to be Japan's #1 ninja. When she fought with Qin Feng, she was comparable to a Stage 9 inner Qi stage martial artist in China. Then, the strength of a ninja god was obviously comparable to a true Qi stage. The divine dragon also went. Qin Feng had already realized how troublesome this battle would be. 6 experts comparable to the true Qi realm were indeed difficult to deal with. Most importantly, Qin Feng didn't know how powerful the ninjas were. If even the divine dragon couldn't defeat them, then they would at least be comparable to a Stage 4 true Qi stage martial artist in China. The divine dragon went the day before yesterday. He had already fought with one Autumn Windblade, one of the 6 great ninjas. I heard that the fight ended in a draw. Because of this, the 12 Peaks urgently asked me to think of a way to get you back. Qin Feng was very clear about the divine dragon's strength. He was a Stage 2 true Qi stage martial artist. Coupled with the various spiritual weapons in the sovereign peace system, he was not afraid of fighting a Stage 3 true Qi stage martial artist. Even the divine dragon only ended in a draw. It seemed that the divine ninjas of Japan were really powerful. Qin Feng, you're finally back. At this time, a hurried and pleasant voice came into the room. Qin Feng looked up and saw Lu Bingbing walking and wearing a well-ironed military uniform. She still looked valiant and formidable. Bing Bing, how have you been? Qin Feng stood up and hugged Lu Bing Bing. Yin Wu Shuang felt a fire burning in her heart. Chapter 1256. Do you still care about me? You always leave for a long time without even calling me. You might as well not come back. Lu Bing Bing complained with a cold face. Lu Bing complained with a cold face. She and Yin Wu Shuang used to be cold, heartless, and arrogant women, but after falling in love with Qin Feng, they often became jealous. Qin Feng put his arm around Lu Bing Bing's waist and let her complain. He caressed Lu Bing Bing's back and looked at her lovingly. Bing Bing, I went to the sacred ground of the demon clan to rescue someone and found out about my mother's whereabouts. I've been busy investigating. Don't be angry. Lu Bing Bing was a rational woman. She became excited when she found out about Qin Feng's mother. Where's Annie? Do you need me to ask the dragon sect for help? Yin Wu Shuang walked over quickly. The jealousy in her disappeared. She asked nervously, so you're busy. Why don't you go find Annie first? Senior Dragon God should be able to hold on for a few more days. The two women were excited. That was Qin Feng's mother, their future mother-in-law. They wondered what kind of person their mother-in-law was. It would be troublesome if she was not easy to talk to. Qin Feng put his arms around Yin Wu Shuang and Lu Bing Bing and said gently, Don't worry. I've asked the martial arts world to help me find out about this. Now that Japan is bullying us, how can I let them go so easily? Let's go to the island now. Seeing that Qin Feng had made up his mind, Lu Bing Bing and Yin Wu Shuang stopped persuading him. The three of them went to the Dragon Sect's meeting room. Due to the recent crisis, the meeting room was filled with the Dragon Sect's higher-ups. They were discussing the plan in full swing. When Qin Feng walked in, the noisy room fell silent. The 12-peak leaders, team leaders, and instructors all widened their eyes and looked at Qin Feng in disbelief. Io, Qin Feng, you're finally back. The 12-peak leaders were the first to wake up. They greeted Qin Feng excitedly as if they saw their savior. The rest of them came to their senses and surrounded Qin Feng immediately. Senior Azure Dragon, we've seen hope again. Yellow Group Leader Lei Ming, Black Group Deputy Leader Song Changsheng, Flying Bird, Exploding Bear. Greetings, Senior Azure Dragon. Qin Feng was an existence that surpassed everyone in the Dragon Gate. Even the 12 Peaks could not order Qin Feng to do anything. He carried the titles of Hua Xia's Azure Dragon, Martial Arts Alliance Master, and so on. He even defeated the #1 martial artist in the secular world, Senior Dragon God. He had already become a legend in the secular world of Hua Xia. Everyone, there's no need to stand on ceremony. Now that our country is in danger, let's work together and chase away the ant from Japan. Qin Feng didn't put on airs and brought the topic back to business with just a few words. The 12 upper peaks nodded appreciatively at Qin Feng. One of the representatives stepped forward and said, Qin Feng, the island situation is critical now. If it weren't for Senior Dragon God who rushed over 2 days ago, I'm afraid we wouldn't have been able to hold on until now. Qin Feng had learned about the situation on the island from Yin Wu Shuang. He waved his hand to interrupt 12 Peaks and said, I know everything. Bring me to the island now. Everyone was stunned for a moment, but they quickly regained their senses. The originally dejected crowd was instantly energized, as if they had seen a new hope because of Qin Feng's arrival. Qin Feng, let's set off now. Firebird, I'll leave the Dragon's Gate base to you for now. You must be prepared to fight at any time. 12 Peaks did not waste any more time. They immediately arranged the important matters and left with Qin Feng. Qin Feng called Yin Wu Shuang and Lu Bing Bing along. The group was escorted to the island by more than 10 military vehicles. The military vehicles all had military license plates. There were also 2 armored vehicles at the front and back. They were very eye-catching on the street and attracted many onlookers. They arrived at the airport and took a private plane to the island. Actually, Qin Feng didn't have to go through so much trouble. He could land on the island in minutes using the space-time door. However, it was not convenient for 12 Peaks and Lu Bing Bing to send them there. He was afraid that the magical effect of the space-time door would scare them. They set off in the afternoon. It was already night when they arrived at the island. The hotel was booked a long time ago. It was only 2 kilometers away from the island. The hotel was fully booked, and the people staying in the hotel were all members of the Dragon's Gate. After knowing that Qin Feng was coming, everyone in the hotel surrounded the entrance. The formation of hundreds of elite martial artists scared many passers-by. Members of the Dragon's Gate welcomed Senior Dragon God. Just when Qin Feng got off the military vehicle, he saw 2 long lines at the entrance of the hotel. Liu Bingbing and Yin Wushuang were so shocked that their jaws dropped. 12 Peaks looked calm. This should be arranged by them. China's 9 dragons and 5 tigers were here. They stood at the front of the crowd. Blue Dragon Ji Yi was as tall and sturdy as a mountain. When he walked, he felt like the ground was shaking. Brother Qin Feng, Sister Wushuang, you're here. Ji Yi and Yin Wushuang were on a mission together in Hong Kong. They had a deep relationship. Dongfang Mingwang was also here. He strode at Qin Feng and looked angry. You finally showed up. Wait until the national crisis is over. I'll teach you a lesson. Qin Feng was reprimanded by Dongfang Mingwang in front of everyone, but he couldn't say anything to refute. He knew why this old man was so angry. It was all because he broke off the engagement with Dongfang Qing Shui. Fortunately, Yuan Fu also walked over. He patted Qin Feng's shoulder and said, Qin Feng, I can finally fight alongside you. Seeing Uncle Yuan, Qin Feng was filled with emotions. He patted Yuan Fu's shoulder and said, Uncle Fu, don't worry. You protected me before, so I'll protect you now. Huh, great. The 9 dragons and 5 tigers took the initiative to greet Qin Feng. Although Qin Feng was only the green dragon of China, and his status was lower than the red dragon Dongfang Mingwang, the orange dragon Shen Qingdi, and the gold dragon Yuan Mo, no one dared to look down on Qin Feng. He was someone who defeated the divine dragon. Qin Feng, you're finally here. If you didn't come, I wouldn't have been able to hold them off. While everyone was chatting, a low voice was heard. A white shadow flashed, and the divine dragon stood in front of Qin Feng. Senior Divine Dragon, you're being too humble. How can a mere Japanese ant be your opponent? When other people saw the dragon god, they would immediately bow and bend their backs. They felt like they were shorter, but Qin Feng was still joking with him. It felt like they were brothers. The divine dragon looked serious. I'm not joking about this. Japan has gathered 6 ninjas this time. All 6 of them have extraordinary skills. Their strength is comparable to a Huaxiang martial artist in the true energy stage. We'd better be careful. Qin Feng naturally wouldn't let his guard down. He patted the divine dragon's shoulder and said, Come, let's talk in your room. Bing, Wushuang, you guys go eat first. I'll return to my room later. Qin Feng followed the divine dragon into the hotel. A group of dragon sect members watched the 2 of them leave. The divine dragon stayed in the presidential suite on the top floor. As soon as he entered the room, he went straight to the point. Qin Feng, there were too many people just now. It's not good for me to boost others' morale and diminish my own. However, I fought with the current leader of One Blade School, One Blade Autumn Wind. That guy's strength is comparable to a true energy stage 3. I used all my skills and only managed to fight him to a draw. However, according to the information I've gathered, One Blade Autumn Wind is the weakest among the 6 ninjas. The 6 ninjas of Japan each have a divine blade. With a divine blade, their strength is unfathomable. The divine dragon explained the situation here in detail. Qin Feng muttered in his heart. 6 divine blades of Japan? He didn't know what grade of spiritual weapon it was. Could it be more powerful than the Golden Phoenix? How did this battle go? Are there any rules? Qin Feng was furious. He couldn't wait to kill all the ninjas of Japan right now. The divine dragon frowned and said, There are rules. However, in the face of the huge benefits of the island, no one will abide by them. However, the battle between both sides is mainly based on the secret forces. It's the secret battle between the dragon sect martial artists and the ninjas of Japan. As for the naval battle between the warships of both sides, it's just a small fight for show. After Qin Feng understood the situation on the island, he understood why the dragon sect was in such a pressuring situation. China's 9 dragons and 5 tigers were stage 9 inner chi or stage 9 external realm experts. Only the divine dragon was a true energy stage expert. The 6 ninjas of Japan were all true energy stage 3 or even more powerful existences. If it was just a battle between the secret forces, the dragon sect would naturally lose. However, now that Qin Feng was here, there was hope to turn this losing situation around. Let's sneak attack tonight and eliminate the 6 ninjas. Qin Feng had already made a decision. The divine dragon frowned and said, "Actually, there's another important reason why we're losing. This is a naval battle. Most of the experts from both sides fight on the sea. The ninjas of Japan have been specially trained to fight on the sea since young, but the members of the dragon sect are not good at it. Even you and I will be at a disadvantage." The divine dragon had experienced the pain of a naval battle in the previous battle. As long as the ninjas of the opponent escaped into the sea, the divine dragon couldn't do anything to them. Moreover, if they moved on the flying sword on the sea, it would be a big target and very easy to be attacked. That bunch of trash wants to fight on the sea? Then I'll accompany them to the end. A light smile flashed across Qin Feng's face. He planned to bring out the black tortoise to assist in the battle. Let's see if the ninjas of Japan still dare to dive into the sea. As long as they dared to dive into the sea, they would become the black tortoise's meal. After a discussion with the divine dragon, Qin Feng decided to launch the attack after midnight. That would be the time when the defense was the weakest. They would catch Japan off guard. There was still more than 2 hours before the battle. Qin Feng rushed all the way back to Kyoto today and didn't even have a sip of water. He returned to his suite after leaving the divine dragon's room. "Qin Feng, you're back. You haven't eaten, right?" As soon as he entered the suite, 2 beautiful women came up to him. Lu Bingbing had just taken a bath. She was wearing a thin white bathrobe, and her hair was still wet and draped over her shoulders. Yan Wushuang was still wearing a black leather jacket and pants. She looked a little nervous. "I've just finished discussing business with Senior Divine Dragon. Have you eaten?" Qin Feng hugged the 2 women and sat down on the sofa. "You're tuning in to the Romance Rendezvous YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.